Hey everybody, you're tuning in to the Canary News Talk live stream pre-stream. We're just about to get the show started here. Just getting the text message out. Y'all should be receiving that momentarily. Who do we got? We got Adam42, Observant Servant, Denise, Equo 26, Psalm 40. Hey, Psalm 40, what's up? Psalm 40 says D-Live link didn't work. I'm not sure which one you're referring to. Was it the one in the email? Was it one in the canarycry.party? Let me know which one didn't work. I'll try to fix that. Just a heads up, folks. There in the text message, in the email, on canarycry.party, everywhere. You'll see a fun little button to help celebrate Gonz's birthday. That's right, the big boy is turning 4-0, but his katana swing is as strong as ever. So, you can head on over to canarycry.party or click on the link in the social post for today or the text message, and there's some suggestions there for special producerships to help celebrate the big guy. You can do that, of course. We've got the 1983 producership, the year he was born. You could do the $40.40 for turning 40. Or the executive producership of Gonz's birth date, 1/22/83 for January 22nd, 1983. All sorts of fun options, and it's just a great way to celebrate your favorite Asian provocateur. Give it a shot. Give it a shot, won't you? All right, we're getting the show started, so let's just do it. Let's do it to it, Lars.
The world is getting crazier. People are acting more and more insane. The end of the world is tomorrow. Tomorrow. There's only one thing to do when the world is falling apart. Listen to Basil and Gonz as they discuss this week's news and events through the lens of Bible prophecy. You are listening to Canary News Talk.
You're listening to Canary News Talk. Today is January 20th, 2023. We are live to tape on episode 584, and today, ALGO rain bombs. And signing on from Off the Grid, Razzle Dazzle, I'm your best buddy Basil.
And my name is Gonz, formerly of the Face Like the Sun YouTube channel, director of the Age of Deceit films, your favorite Asian provocateur for Christ, a.k.a. the Cabana Boy, live to tape from California, here to bring you the best news, which is the gospel message of Jesus Christ, while reporting the egregious with a well-rounded, biblically grounded take on world events. And today's emergent phenomena is happy hearts, laughter, and joy.
Okay, that's a new one. I love it. I love it. We got a great show today, but before I let you ramble on about the
happy hearts and joy, you want to prevent me from talking about happy hearts and joy.
You. Okay. I am filibustering you in order to wish you a happy birthday, Gonzo.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's now you do turn 40 on Sunday, the 22nd.
Yes.
But this is the last show of your 30s.
Oh,
how does it feel, old man?
I think Joe sums it up for me. I think Joe's singing happy birthday for
our family. When somebody's birthday, sing happy birthday. You ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Valen. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, thanks,
That's
Joe.
funny. Wow, how nice of him to send that to you.
Yeah, a personal message to me. Isn't that amazing?
What,
he forgot my name, but
yeah,
it's okay.
Is that what it was for? He was trying to make like an all-purpose
universal. Maybe that was his
recording.
plan. Yeah, now he's everybody's favorite singer of the birthday song. So
it worked. Well, yeah. So thank you for everybody who is producing this episode, because it's a very special episode to produce, because it is Gonz's birthday. If anybody just forgot or didn't get the link or anything, I will pop the canarycrynewstalk.com/Gonz-birthday into the chat. Oh, for some reason it's not going to YouTube. Don't know why. But if you want to celebrate with us today, you can go check out that link, and there's some fun producership options. And Gonz, the bill collectors are starting to call Gonz, so this would be a great way to great
fun.
Birthday gift. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, it is your birthday, Gonz, but it is still a show day, so we got to do a show.
Yep.
Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's give that canned disclaimer.
It's time for a disclaimer.
Now listen up.
YouTube.
That's right, and just for all the content moderators and censorship managers out there, be they robots or humans, everything you hear on this show comes directly from the mainstream corporate news media. We do not claim to be experts on healthcare, geopolitics, military strategy, corporate law, or the moral and ethical implications of any of these topics, nor do we implicitly or explicitly support or subscribe to any sources or narratives containing misinformation, disinformation, or malinformation, as defined by the Department of Homeland Security. We're good boys. All right, YouTube, we're good boys. Good boys. And why don't I give you a rundown so you know what to expect, Gonz?
Oh, look, here's Basil.
Let me bring you up to speed.
Let me bring you up to speed, folks. The World Economic Forum Davos Summit is continuing, and we've got a nice whirlwind of clips to bring you. If you were wondering what the elites of this world are talking about and how they're talking about it, an interesting shift in tone in both directions. The tone at Davos, where it has previously been sort of boring and reptilian-like and dry and uninteresting, even when they're talking about sort of enslaving the whole human population, it's been very boring. But they are swinging for the fences left and right. We've got a wide range of responses to questions and announcements being made. You're going to love it. Then, after that, we'll be checking in with Flippy, and something smells funny with Flippy. We'll get into that. Gonz is very excited to bring you something about cyborg cells, and we will all have a learning experience there. But then, of course, yes, the Rumble in the Jungle, the most anticipated match of the century. There's trouble in paradise, folks, between conservative commentator Steven Crowder and, you know him, you love him, he's Mr. Waffle himself, Ben Shapiro. And so we'll be checking in with that. We'll be giving. Now, look, this is not just for nothing, okay? There's something very important going on in the otherwise very boring idea that two conservative internet commentators would be fighting about something. But there's a much bigger message, and I believe a much more devious, subtle plan at work. But after that, old Jacinda, New Zealand, having a shift, a power shift. Why, who, and how many? I don't know. Jacinda Ardern, the notorious tyrant ruling New Zealand, just can't take it anymore. Then in Block 2, we'll be checking in with COVID, the vaccine, the Great Reset, and some pretty upsetting monetary things going on around the world that should have you checking your bank account. Then, at the end, Antarctica, 2 more jobs that don't exist. We'll be checking in with the industry of fake jobs that are taking hold in Antarctica. But first, Gonz, our lead stories.
Since the beginning of time, man has yearned to destroy the sun. I will do the next best thing. Block it out.
How dare you?
Climate change. Climate change.
Mass extinction.
There's a lot going on this week with the World Economic Forum, and DailyMail.co.uk had one of the better titles that I recall seeing in a while. Made me laugh. So
yeah, notoriously, Daily Mail just posts an entire paragraph as
you don't need to read the
headline.
article. You just
the
headline gives it all away. So this headline here: how Al Gore has made $330 million.
Classic.
With climate alarmism. Former VP made a fortune after losing to George W. when he set up a green investment firm, now worth $36 billion, that pays him $2 million a month, ... as he warns about rain bombs in boiling oceans.
Rain bombs and boiling oceans. Yeah. Al Gore, he went off, man. He's been in the game for a very long time, and no matter how much Greta tries to outdo Al Gore's alarmism and righteous indignation and things like this, Al Gore's still the king, baby. He's still the king, and that's why he makes the big bucks. $2 million a month. Based on, that's like one of the biggest parts about, people who talk about the climate change alarmism being a scam and stuff like this. Yeah. Unfortunately, the conversation often gets too bogged down in like, you don't believe in science. It's like, well, okay. Well, you don't believe that people are using this and blowing it out of proportion, perhaps. Because they make money. We live in a world where money drives almost every single action anybody does. And indeed, especially when they are sort of global elites. Now, you can talk about the lizard people and the blood rituals and all that stuff as much as you want, but you almost don't need to bring that up to a skeptic, because the love of money is simply enough to explain a lot of the, more ridiculous things of what the leaders do. And indeed, Al Gore is a wonderful example of that. Why would he spend his life dedicated to fighting climate change? Well, apparently, because if you do it well enough and long enough, you can make $2 million a month.
$2 million a month. He must be getting some special goggles that lets him see something else other than reality that allows him to get really amped up about this. So
for $2 million a month, Gons, I would go out there and start talking about rain bombs and boiling ocean.
The passion is there.
I could make up more. Yeah, all you got to do is get angry. And everybody knows I can get angry. Where's my $2 million a month? Well, we better learn from the best, Gons. We got a clip of his most recent shenanigans. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, it's muted, of course. Here we go.
We're still putting 162 million tons into it every single day. And the accumulated amount is now trapping as much extra heat as would be released by 600,000 Hiroshima-class atomic bombs exploding every single day on the Earth. That's what's boiling the oceans, creating these atmospheric rivers and the rain bombs, and sucking the moisture out of the land and creating the droughts and melting the ice and raising the sea level and causing these waves of climate refugees predicted to reach 1 billion in this century. Look at the xenophobia and political authoritarian trends that have come from just a few million refugees. What about 1 billion?
Woo!
What about a billion, Gons?
He's on fire.
What about 1 billion?
You know what I love about it is he's talking about all these physical things about the fire, rain bombs, and but then he says wave. You think it's a physical wave, but he's talking about a metaphorical wave of people displaced. It's like, whoa, you went right into that. Like, just
that's right. I thought he was going to talk about what is it called, like tsunamis or something.
Right. That's what I thought too. But no, it's just a metaphor.
Racism. Climate change, it causes racism. I mean, that's what he's referring to there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what? If we lived in the world that Al Gore is describing there, I mean, that is just a apocalyptic hellscape he's talking about.
Yeah, I'm
boiling
surprised.
Oceans. Look. Okay. Rain bombs. I don't even know what that is, but does sound like a level in Mario Brothers, you know,
Right.
the rain bomb level.
Yeah.
Boy, you know, the whole thing. That's why it gets the big bucks, baby.
Man, $2 million. I'll yell about this stuff for $2 million a month. Man, yeah. I don't know.
You know what?
There's no soul.
I will say I will name my own
price
emerging phenomenon for this episode, and that is these guys are making a lot of money.
A lot of money.
These guys on both sides.
These guys
Al
on
Gore's
both
making
sides.
A bunch. We'll be talking about other people making a lot of money.
Yeah, we're definitely under the large streams of cash flow, but it's okay.
Well,
that's what
it will all become clear once we see the differences between our revenue stream and Al Gore's and Ben Shapiro's. All right,
and Crowder. So okay, No Agenda Show talked about the historical number, the 600,000 Hiroshima bombs. I went down the rabbit trail myself to dig out these clips. This is back in 2018 at the Sustainable Development Impact Summit. You know, again, this stuff has been going on for a long time. And so let's compare the numbers.
The accumulated amount of man-made global warming pollution that we have dumped there now traps as much extra heat energy compared to the entire existence of humanity prior to now.
Whoa.
As much extra heat energy as would be released by 500,000 Hiroshima-class atomic bombs exploding every day.
It's 100,000 less there, Basil. Only 500,000 back in 2018. Yeah, 2018. So 5 years, 100,000 is about, I guess, the average number there. And of course,
about 100,000 every 4 years.
Sure. Yeah. It's the cycle. And of course, that is referenced back from James Hansen back in 2012. There was a TED Talk about climate and all this stuff. And he had a number.
It's enormous. It's about 20 times greater than the rate of energy use by all of humanity. It's equivalent to exploding 400,000 Hiroshima atomic bombs per day, 365 days per year.
So there you go. There's maybe the origin of some of the metaphors, but
we've got a lot of bombs going off all the time. Apparently,
only 400,000 back in 2012, but you know, after a decade, it's up to 600,000. I'm sure Al Gore is just he can't wait till he can drop that 1 million number. 1 million Hiroshima bombs. You know, the algorithm breaks.
It really doesn't make as good of a point as he thinks it does. It just kind of makes me question the effectiveness of these bombs. You know,
yeah, what kind of bombs are we using to?
Apparently, they're not that bad. If 100,000 of them are going off every 5 years,
sure. The witch hat lady had something to say too. Yeah.
Yes. Let's talk about the witch hat lady. So this I thought was very interesting. Now, in the past, you know, we've always followed the Davos vibes, I'd say. You know, the vibes. It's vibes, man. A lot of it is vibes. They're basically putting on a conference. Yeah. And lots of conferences rely on the vibes. And you got a whole bunch of elite people showing up. You got to figure out a way to wow them every time. And you also need to find different angles in order to, you know, justify meeting every single year. You know, you got to find something else to talk about.
It's got to become ritual.
And the World Economic Forum, they've gone from, you know, focusing on economics and business and stuff like that. Then they got all focused on social justice and the well-being of developing nations and things. They've really ran through the gamut of sort of justifications as why they're there and why they need to do what they're doing, the nature of the crises. Well, we had this lady show up, and if you're just listening, she's wearing sort of like a straw kind of pointed witch hat. Yes, very.
She was actually sitting right next to Al Gore, to the right of Al Gore.
Oh,
so
good.
The vibes are really. I mean, there's something up there, some kind of energy going on.
Something. Al Gore's right-hand witch here has something to say. Let's see what she says.
And also our faith leaders. They know that this crisis is much more than physical and environmental schisms. We have a deeply wounded spirit as a people that is in desperate need of healing and restoration. And we must look to our Almighty Creator to find our proper place in humanity, our proper place as that one strand. And
okay, so we're in a schism.
Besides the fact that she's never heard the word schism said
I think I've made the same mistake, so I'm not going to, be too harsh on her. But
that's a classic Gons move.
Yeah.
I mean, it's it's okay. But besides that, there has been this interesting shift, sort of spoken out loud by this lady, from the World Economic Forum sort of having an economic responsibility or a social justice responsibility to having a spiritual responsibility to fix the world. Because really, and I don't think this is on accident, especially because much of the criticism that the online community has of the World Economic Forum is sort of rooted spiritually.
Yeah.
There's spiritual aspects to what they're doing there that is sort of the most upsetting part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, if you can give the World Economic Forum Davos Summit sort of this, it's not just economic leaders, it's not just government leaders, it's not just state level politicians in the US, but it's also spiritual leaders. And we commented on Yo-Yo Ma being there as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
what is Yo-Yo Ma doing?
Yeah,
but to being the sort of golden calf of global, musical, pinnacle of cultural influence or something. I don't know. But it's sort of really tuning in to like, hey, don't be mad at us just because we're lizard people trying to rule the world. We're here to help you out spiritually.
Yeah.
Which is, unfortunately, the world is sort of primed for a secular spiritualism to be handed down from the elites. So I think this is actually a very effective message that we're going to hear more and more.
Yeah, and it's not absent of any international organization. You talk about the UN, Benjamin Krem, and you had a whole weird branch in there with meditation rooms and all kinds of stuff. So this is not new or unique.
Well, and last year's Davos, having the psychedelic shamans, the ecstatic dance tents. There very much is this spiritual influence. And last time it was sort of outside of Davos.
Yeah,
you had the psychedelic shamans and the ecstatic dance people. But it's sort of starting to seep in that this is a spiritual problem that we are here to figure out and guide the rest of the planet through, which fits quite nicely into sort of the broader analysis, especially for, Christian online people. We've been talking about the spiritual influence of Davos for, my gosh, years, almost 10 years now.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's starting to show up. And Gons, what would a elite spiritual influencer conference be without prostitutes? NewYorkPost.com headline. These are the people who are here to guide you spiritually into the future. NewYorkPost.com headline: prostitutes charge Davos attendees $2,500 a night as sex work demand booms.
Oh, wow.
The demand is booming at Davos for sex workers. Scores of sex workers have swarmed to the Swiss ski resort town of Davos to offer their services to the rich and powerful this week, with some said to be charging up to $2,500 a night. Every year, the World Economic Forum hosts a 5-day gathering featuring CEOs, dignitaries, captains of industry, and media figures to discuss important global issues. One prostitute, who goes by the name Liana, told the German newspaper Bild that she frequently provides services to an American attendee at Davos who pays $750 per hour, or $2,500 to spend the whole night. She added that she dresses in business attire in order to blend in with the crowd at the World Economic Forum gathering. A woman who manages an escort service based in the Swiss town of ALGO, which is located some 100 miles from Davos, told 20 Minuten that she received 11 bookings and 25 inquiries. And that was just the beginning. Dun, dun, dun. Quote, some also book escorts for themselves and their employees to party in the hotel suite, the escort service manager said. A German sex worker took to Twitter to describe her experience mingling with the Davos crowd and their security detail. Her comments were reported by DailyMail.com. Quote, date in Switzerland during WWF means looking at the gun muzzles of security guards in the hotel corridor at 2 a.m. and then sharing the giveaway chocolates from the restaurant with them and gossiping about the rich. And she signs off there. Salome Balthus, the sex worker. Balthus, who said she is staying at a hotel near Davos, refused to divulge the names of her clients. Well, at least she's discreet, Gons. And that's...
well,
really what you want if you're an elite lizard person looking to have a little extra fun at the Davos.
But this would also serve as a great honeypot to
that's the
gather
point.
Data.
That's exactly right, ain't it? We know there's a thing called a honeypot, which is one of the oldest tricks in the book. If you want to commit some sort of espionage, get secrets, have access to somebody's phone or hotel room or whatever, is you just do a little honeypot. You get a beautiful lady, maybe they meet in the restaurant, or it's just straight up a sex worker. And what better opportunity to run a massive honeypot operation than at the World Economic Forum?
Imagine
Davos
the data
retreat.
these prostitutes are collecting that they can sell on the unofficial markets for the intelligence.
It's a clearinghouse for CIA, contractors. These women, many of them, I'm sure there's a number of intelligence organizations who are contracting with these sex workers. I mean, what a great way to gather all of the world's most important information or blackmail in one place at one time in a 5-day event. And they pay you for it. They pay you to give you access to all their most darkest, deepest secrets. Yeah. So there you go. Congratulations to all the intelligence agencies around the world. I hope this week's honeypot extravaganza goes well.
Good.
Yeah. And with that, it's Friday, Gons.
It's
time
Friday.
To go. There you go. We can keep playing with the Friday thing.
What you gonna learn today?
Cause it's Friday. You ain't got no job. And you ain't got shit.
Are you not entertained?
Hey, good days.
It's Friday. It's Friday.
That's right. It's Friday, Gons. It's your birthday. It's Friday. It's the last day of Davos. It's such an exciting day. And can't wait to get it over with. But I wouldn't want to be anywhere else but here. Anything exciting going on your side?
Not really.
Birthday plans?
Zero. Surprisingly,
Ooh.
Zero. Which I don't know what that means. But I got a text from my sister yesterday. It was like, "Are we doing something for your birthday?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I don't think so."
Now, is it traditional that you are involved in birthday plans? Year on year over year. Are you like public birthday plan person
for my own birthday?
Or is it like your wife kind of figures it out for you?
Yeah, my wife usually has
like
a little something.
things.
Yeah, I'm not unless I am really adamant about something. It will be known, but not this year. There's not really anything.
If she asks, you should say you want to go to some stand-up comedy.
Oh, okay.
Just see if it works.
Are you performing somewhere in your other identity?
Yeah, I can get you in.
Okay, all right.
I don't know if you've heard of my comedy alias, but I figured I might as well share it now. I could use a little bit of the cross promotion.
Sure.
My comedy alias is Joseph Rogan. and I have a show in Austin, Texas this weekend.
Interesting.
Yeah. No.
Although,
okay. Well,
yeah, I think maybe you can use some of these more these truth or Christian dad jokes as part of your routine. Got a couple to pitch for you.
I thought I could get past it, folks. I thought we were gonna miss it today, but no. Okay, why don't you tell me?
It'll be quick. It'll be quick. All right. So there's some intelligence agencies themed truth or dad jokes.
Okay.
I asked my Spanish pirate friend from Canada if we worked for the government. He said, "Sí, I, eh?"
Oof. Ooh, that one ran chills down my spine. That one sort of affected me physically.
Oh, good.
It wasn't painful. It was more like an overwhelming sense of dread. It's
perfect. Perfect.
Kind of like if you look up in the sky and you see a new star in the sky, and you're like, "Wow, that's bright and beautiful," but you realize it might be a meteor coming straight for you.
Yeah. Well, look, this is outside of my element. Okay, so I got one.
No,
more.
You're doing great. I thought I was trying to give you a compliment.
All right. I was telling a guy that I know who works for the FBI that I think that a lot of the most egregious aspects of good old USA are due to the direct involvement of our intelligence agencies. And he replied, "Yeah, it's sus. It's sus for sure." I kind of liked that one. That one was pretty good. That one was pretty good. We got to like.
I'll give you that one. Give you that one.
That's enough for me.
All right. Well, wonderful. Thank you for all of that. I don't have anything exciting. I won't be celebrating your birthday in the traditional fashion this year. You don't get your spankings because we're as every year for our entire friendship. We have never celebrated each other's birthdays, and I just didn't want to break that tradition.
Well, part of it too is there's a time when your birthday comes up, and I'm always uncertain: is that your real birthday, or is this like
I always
the
forget
other birthday? You know,
my born again birthday. Let me think here. There has to be something interesting going on in my life. Oh, I did make some progress installing the new solar system here out at the compound.
Nice.
And, I thought I could figure it out. I'll watch some YouTube videos.
Yeah.
I'm not like a skilled electrician or anything, but I was told, it's basically just plugging in wires to the right things. But I didn't want to be stuck, just in case I couldn't install the new one entirely in one day. I didn't want to be stuck without power, especially because we had a show today. So I left the old system up simultaneously. And let's just say, folks, if you're dealing with some high voltage electronic equipment, make sure to wear gloves. There was a couple of moments where I was being careless and did cause a number of small explosions, just sort of in and around my physical body.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah, it got the adrenaline pumping for sure. If you're looking for a way to just like remember the gift of life and to like not take it for granted, like if you need some inspiration for reasons to like call the people you love and tell them that you miss them and that you love them very much, try to install a solar system all on your own, 48-volt solar system, and forget to sort of be careful because it did sound like a series of gunshots going off in the garage it was like 8 sort of quickly repeating flashbangs going off in the garage. It was very loud, very bright. And I was relieved when a SWAT team did not come storming in because I thought for a second maybe like that's what was going on.
Like a portal opens up or something. You never know. With bright flashes, you might be.
Listeners who have been following our work for 10 years or more know that I've been known to mess around in the garage with electricity and, time travel and things like that. It used to be much more of my sort of daily life and personal brand. So I will suggest just wear some gloves and wear some Crocs. The Crocs are some excellent grounding shoes if anybody was looking for some recommendations. But other than that, let's keep the celebration going, Gons, because we have some executive producers to thank.
Executive producers.
That's right, folks. We're on the value for value model, which means we, unlike others, take no corporate money whatsoever. None whatsoever. We are entirely funded by listeners of the show. Why are you making these noises?
Oh, because it just hits a little differently today when you say those lines, you know?
Oh, yeah. You know what? Yeah. Okay. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
So we take no corporate money whatsoever. We're entirely funded by producers of the show. And you might think to yourself, well, lots of people are funded by producers of their show, such as Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder. Everybody has a Patreon. Everybody takes donations. Well, it's not that we do take donations. It's that we only take donations. And in fact, it's not donations, it's producerships. People who get value from the show. They are responsible for keeping the show going. And it's a responsibility we all share. And those who come in and support the show, you can do so with your time, your talent, or your treasure. It's not just all about money. But those who come in with a big bag, as the kids would say. They come in with a big bag and they support the show. We're very grateful for them. They're called executive producers, and we got a couple to thank right now. Are you ready?
All right. Yep.
Okay, we are starting out with executive producer Sir Darren, Night of the Hungry Pandas.
Hey, Sir Darren, thank you very much.
And he's on a 95 episode streak, which is impressive.
Tweakers. Oh, yeah! Thank you so much.
And he comes in with the Gon's birth date executive producership 1/22/83 for January 22nd, 1983. And he added the fees on that. That's very nice. And he says, Gons, it is your birthday.
It's my birthday. It's my birthday. Happy birthday to me.
Yes, sorry. Okay. Yes, thank you very much, Sir Darren, out of the Hungry Pandas.
Thank you, Sir Darren.
Yes, I misspoke, people, about the Crocs. I'm sorry. Not grounding. What I meant was insulation. Thank you. We've got a bunch of electricians in the chat.
I was looking at the chat. They're really coming after you. But
no. I'm sorry. I did not mean grounding. I meant, and this is why I shouldn't be
This is why you almost killed yourself.
Because I mixed up grounding and insulation.
Yeah, you can't mix up the colors. Yeah.
Yeah, anything more than red and black, and things start to get confusing. There's a green one, and there's a white one, and I don't really know what to do with those. Thank you very much, executive producer Sir Darren, out of the Hungry Pandas.
Where'd you find this?
Thank you, Sir Darren.
Thank you very much. Next up, we have executive producer Maureen M.
Maureen M, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, executive producer Maureen M. And I did not see a note from Maureen, but Maureen comes in with, the 1/22/83, the Gon's birth date executive producership.
Oh, thank you very much, Maureen. Appreciate it.
Just taking a quick check to see, checking the email, just to see if any notes came in. But Maureen is not necessarily in the habit of sending notes, and we love her for that. There we go. Okay, thank you very much, executive producer Maureen M.
Did you find this?
Okay, we got another one, baby. Let's do this. We're going to be thanking executive producer Felicia D.
Felicia D, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, executive producer Felicia D. Always a faithful exec to come in. We appreciate it very, very much. And she comes in with a nice round number, which means we will not disclose it. That's how it works, folks. If you support the show for a nice round number, that's you telling us not to read the number out. If you don't mind us reading the number, make it a funky number, communicate something with that number. But we are very appreciative. Thank you, executive producer Felicia D.
Thank you, Felicia D.
Where'd you find this?
And we got another one, Gons. I know. And this one's also very exciting. This is an executive producer, producership from our new record-keeping and record-breaking executive producer, Kevin M.
Kevin M.
That's right. 4 episodes in a row of executive producership.
That is the executive streak record.
I think so. I realized that we've never actually written that down. So Clankanifius, if you're reading this, can you send us an email with the subject line executive streak record and put Kevin M in there, please? Yes. Now we will officially put 4 executive producer streak as the record, and we'll continue to track that. Thank you very much, executive producer Kevin M.
Where'd you find this?
Okay, I'm just going to do a couple quick little refreshes here just to make sure nothing new happened. But if it's not too late, folks, if you're out there and you want to produce the show, maybe you've never produced the show, this is a great episode to do so. Help celebrate our second best buddy Gons here. You can head on over to canarycryradio.com/support.
canarycryradio.com/support.
Yep, and that's all she wrote, Gons. Let's keep moving with the show.
Flippy update.
Do you want fries with that?
It's time for the Flippy update, folks. Flippy is our colloquial name for the disembodied robot arms that are taking our jobs, enslaving our children, and flirting with our spouses. We use talking about Flippy as a way to explore all the new, fun, and exciting ways the robots are taking over the world, and how there's nothing we can do about it. Today, Flippy update is coming from astrobiology.com.
Whoa.
Why? I don't know.
Because the space aliens are robots.
Space biology, star biology, not a real job, as we've said before. But let's see what's going on here. The headline is Tricorder Cyborg Tech, a robot able to, quote, smell using a biological sensor. Biological sensor.
Interesting.
A new technological development by Tel Aviv University has made it possible for a robot to smell using a biological sensor. The sensor sends electrical signals as a response to the presence of a nearby odor, which the robot can detect and interpret. In this new study, the researchers successfully connected a biological sensor to an electronic system, and using a machine learning algorithm, were able to identify odors with a level of sensitivity 10,000 times higher than that of a commonly used electronic device. The researchers believe that in light of the success of their research, this technology may also be used in the future to identify explosives, drugs, diseases, and more.
Oh, this Flippy would have known that you had a little oopsie daisy in the garage from like 100 miles away. Just sniff it out like, oh, Basil, there's some electricity smoke.
Your eyebrows are burning off. Yeah, would have smelled my burning flesh.
Right.
The biological and technological breakthrough was led by a doctoral student, Netashvil of Tel Aviv University's Sagsegel School of Neuroscience. See, these are the interesting little details here. You gotta keep an eye out for.
Yeah.
And then they just name all the people, and that's always very boring to listen to. Dr. Maus and Professor Ayali explain, quote, man-made technologies still can't compete with millions of years of evolution. Ooh. One area in which we particularly lag behind in the animal world is that of smell perception. An example of this can be found at the airport, where we go through a magnetometer that costs millions of dollars and can detect if we are carrying any metal devices. But when they want to check if a passenger is smuggling drugs, they bring in a dog to sniff them. In the animal world, insects excel at receiving and processing sensory signals. A mosquito, for example, can detect a 0.01% difference in the level of carbon monoxide in the air.
Dioxide.
Today, we are far from producing sensors with those capabilities. Come close to those of insects. Interesting. So they go on about our sensory organs and eyes and noses and blah, 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 blah. But the interesting part about this robot is the biological sensor. It is living cells. It's living
trade-off.
cells. What?
The trade-off taking place. We are being replaced by machine parts, but the machine itself will start being replaced by people parts.
Exactly. I mean, that's an interesting aspect of it. First of all, a robot that can smell is interesting.
Yeah.
But the fact that they take, I forgot what kind of cells they used here, but just for example, take a dog nose, put it on a robot.
Yeah.
And I mean, hello, Spot. You've got
Super Spot.
You've got Super Spot. It's Spot with the actual scent smelling abilities as a dog. Yeah, it's kind of like a reverse cyborgism.
Reverse cyborg.
Putting biological tech into robotic tech. And I think we're going to be seeing more of this. We've seen this before, and it's very interesting. But I think the concept, sort of the philosophy of how do we make robots better? We make them more biological. We make them less robot and more animal. In the same way, we're still talking about how do we make humans better? We make them less human and more
machine.
Robot.
Yeah.
So you kind of have this movement from both sides. From the human side, you have making it more robotic. From the robot side, you have it making it more biological. And somewhere in the middle is like this perfect
The
balance.
end times is somewhere in the middle. is basically where we're at here.
Exactly. So they are attacking this, this sort of reliability of separation between man and machine from both sides of the spectrum. So it's just a matter of time, guys.
Well, it's good that Flippy with the nose, with a sense of smell, would know what he's flipping the burgers. When he's flipping the burgers, he'll know if it's a good burger or not.
That's true.
You just build it right into the algo there. It says that in future work, the researchers plan to give the robot a navigation ability to allow it to localize the odor source and later its identity. So yeah, it's definitely
yeah, they should probably do that. They should probably work on that.
They
That'd
should.
be great.
So since we're talking about cyborg tech in one direction,
okay,
we'll talk about it in the other direction as well.
Are you ready to become cyborg?
This is ucdavis.edu. Cyborg cells could be tools for health and environment. Yes, cyborg cells are going to save the world, Basil.
Cyborg cells.
Yes.
Cells, individual cells that are cyborgs.
Yes.
Okay.
Biomedical engineers at the University of California, Davis have created semi-living cyborg cells, retaining the capabilities
Semi-living. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
They're
a
zombies.
really cool
They're zombie,
idea. It's zombie cells. Yeah.
Retaining the capabilities of living cells, but unable to replicate, the cyborg cells could have a wide range of applications, from producing therapeutic drugs to cleaning up pollution. The work was published January 11th in Advanced Sciences. Then it goes into just some of what it plans to do, and some of the plans are to take a living bacterial cell and remodel its DNA with new genes that give it new functions. Other is to create artificial cell from scratch with a synthetic membrane and biomolecules. It provides a lot of flexibility, and there's a little section called Infused with Artificial Polymer. Tan, who's the guy working on this, and the UC Davis team came up with the third approach. They infused living bacterial cells with the basic unit of an artificial polymer. Once inside the cell, polymer was cross-linked into a hydrogel matrix by exposure to ultraviolet light. The cells could maintain their biological activity, but could not reproduce. Quote, the cyborg cells are programmable, do not divide, preserve essential cellular activities and gain nonative abilities, Tan said. The cyborg cells were more resistant to stressors that would kill normal cells, such as exposure to hydrogen peroxide, antibiotics, or high pH, the researchers found. So, and then a quote here, finally, we're interested in the bioethics of applying cyborg cells as they are cell-derived biomaterials that are neither cells nor materials. We found this middle ground with this stuff.
Interesting.
So
okay. It just absolutely is a cyborg.
It's a cyborg.
But I think there's an interesting message in there, which is it's neither cells nor materials.
Yeah.
And in the sort of common parlance of cyborgism, you say it is a human with robot parts, right? He still identifies as a human, but just kind of hidden in there is, no, it's neither.
It's neither
human nor robot. You lose. I think there's a very profound mention in there that you lose the human part of it. You are no longer human, no longer machine.
Right.
You are cyborg.
You are something new.
Yeah.
It's almost like you are no longer just angel. You are or just human. You are something different.
Ooh.
Also, if you think about the hive mind aspect. If we picture the cyborg cells and this whole thing as kind of a microcosm for what might happen to humanity as a whole, or at least plan to, they make these cyborg cells that do work. They do things, but they're not alive and they can't reproduce, which means, once they're done with their function, they're done. Speaks into, how we each humans might plug into the system and become neither human nor machine, but then do work. We do help with the system, the hive mind grow, but then once they're done with us, then we are just we're just like batteries or something. But the hydrogel matrix I thought was a very triggering term for people like us. You read something like that, it's like,
we're all in the hydrogel.
UC Davis talking about the hydrogel matrix and how some electricity made this thing move and stuff. So just a little fun thing. Yep.
Just a little fun thing.
Just a little fun thing on the side.
Real quick, I'm sorry. We meant to move something around a little bit. I think we should do this politics real quick.
Oh, you think we should do that now? Okay.
Yeah. Let's just get it out of the way.
All right.
That way we can.
It's Latin for many. Tick. They'll suck your blood. They'll suck politics. Your blood.
Washington Post, big news for New Zealand, and indeed big news for everybody paying attention to anything during the COVID pandemic and among other things. Washington Post is reporting Jacinda Ardern didn't make working motherhood look easy. She made it look real.
Oh, yeah, man.
You might be thinking, why are we talking about Jacinda Ardern's motherhood? This is interesting. Should we play this clip first?
Which one?
The clip attached to this segment.
There's a clip attached to this segment? Oh, I was asking you beforehand if we should play it or not, because I don't know if it's real, but we can play it.
It's a fun clip. We don't have to say it's real or not, but
that's
we can
true.
play it.
Okay, well, it is a fun clip. Okay, let me see. I did not fully clip it out, but I can play it in a moment here. It's basically kind of like an auditorium or some theater with a giant screen, and it basically they're broadcasting the announcement of Jacinda Ardern not electing to reelect.
Just play.
I'm waiting for it to load.
Okay,
trying to kill time.
We don't want to give it away.
Okay, I know.
But it is big news. I can start mentioning here on the Washington Post article. A few weeks ago, while I watched Representative Jimmy Gomez win admiration. Win admiration for caring for his infant on the House floor. I started to think about the last time I'd seen an elected official engage in such a public display of parenting. It was New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern scraping herself together after a 6-week maternity leave to simultaneously raise a human and run a country.
Can you imagine, Basil?
I
actually cannot. I mean, that's the one thing women have over all men is when they give childbirth. It's like, they can hold that over men's heads forever. But anyway,
and they do.
Yeah, they do. Do you want to hear the clip here?
Let's play it.
Oh, of course it doesn't play. Where's this weird mute thing that happens? Here we go.
And so today I'm announcing that I will not be seeking re-election. And that my term as Prime Minister will conclude no later than the 7th of February.
I don't know. I don't know if it's real because...
No, it's not real, Guns.
Okay,
this is
good.
a meme.
Okay,
this is
great.
a meme
Thank
format.
you.
Yes,
right.
It's that meme format where it's like a big sports bar. It's a sports bar is what it is.
Okay.
And I think that came from a couple years ago from a World Cup thing. But people go ahead and put up just whatever video they want there and have a bunch of people cheering.
Okay.
But yeah, Jacinda Ardern is stepping down as the Prime Minister of New Zealand, citing burnout. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Burnout. Now, look, being a sort of authoritarian tyrant bent on sort of controlling the thoughts and actions of an entire country, I've never done it, but I imagine that it's a bit exhausting, you know? The constant needing to micromanage everybody's speech, the constant having to worry about, is anybody committing thought crime?
Knocking on citizens' doors and arresting people because they posted on Facebook. It's a tough
yes,
situation.
Arresting people for their social media activity, sort of demonizing people that don't, agree to have an experimental medical treatment like forced upon them and their children. That's all very tiring, and to also raise a child at the same time, Gons. How did she do it? Well, Washington Post goes on, I don't remember Ardern winning universal admiration for this balancing act. Yeah. Jacinda Ardern did not really win universal admiration for the balancing act of becoming some sort of tyrannical dictator and having a child. Can you believe it? It's misogyny is what it is. What I remember mostly was the debate that raged over her breastfeeding choices. Since baby Neva, I don't remember that, but okay. Since baby Neva was still nursing when Ardern was expected at a Pacific Island summit, the Prime Minister had arranged to take a separate flight from other government officials, shortening her trip to avoid a prolonged absence from her newborn. The extra blah, 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 blah. It's all about Jacinda Ardern's valiant attempt at motherhood and running the country. So I can say, congratulations to New Zealand listeners. We don't have a ton of New Zealand listeners, but we do have some.
I do have some parts of this article more towards the bottom that I have highlighted.
Hit me.
Yeah, it says here, more importantly, Basil, than all this great stuff that she didn't get any credit for, they can have a leader who acknowledges without ego or pomp when it's time to hang things up and resign.
Yes.
On Wednesday, Ardern announced that she no longer had, quote, enough in the tank to perform the job to the standards it required, that she would be stepping down. Quote, I am human. Politicians are human.
Lies.
Lies. We give all that we can for as long as we can, and then it's time. That quote, it made me think, you know what? Jacinda Ardern, I will give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you are human, and you're stepping down because you realized you have been fooled. You
have nothing else to give.
You have nothing else to give, which, I mean, did she not realize what she did? Okay, anyway. Quote, quote, I hope in return I leave behind a belief. She wants to leave behind a belief that you can be kind but strong, empathetic but decisive, optimistic but focused. Okay, she's a motivational speaker, apparently. The entire speech felt like the continuation of the, quote, politics of kindness that she had defined her term. Nebulous concept. And then at the bottom here, Jacinda Ardern did not make simultaneous mothering and governing look easy. She did not pretend there was a neat hack to having it all, but she also didn't flagellate herself for the struggle. She simply acknowledged that, yes, sometimes the baby will appear on the floor of the United Nations General Assembly. Yes, sometimes the flight scheduled will be rearranged.
You think so?
No.
You think you wouldn't be able to get a babysitter as the prime minister of the country? Yeah.
None of that meant that she wasn't up to the task. It meant that she would question, it meant that we should question how we define the task. You see, it's not her, it's us. It's the people. We should ask whether elected officials must conform themselves to politics as usual, or whether we might acknowledge that politicians and workers and citizens are human beings with lived experiences that can enrich their understanding of their countries and the way they should be governed. Systems should adapt to us, not the other way around.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what the deal with the father is. Was there not a father? Could she not get a babysitter? I don't think that the baby ever did crawl on the ground of the UN. It's all very well crafted propaganda to sort of give her a break, right? This whole article is give her a break. All right. She may not have done it perfectly, but what mother does, it's this. And I think it's interesting. Do you think the idea that she was a mother and a prime minister sort of, I don't know, had an influence on her parenting style, i.e. her sort of style of government? I mean, it was very parental.
It was a parental thing. Yeah.
I'm the mom. You listen to the mom because I'm the mom, okay? Yep. No more cigarettes. She literally banned cigarettes. No more cigarettes. And if you don't get vaccinated, you're a bad boy.
Yeah.
You're a bad, bad boy, and mother's very disappointed in you. Right. I think something else is going on, of course.
Of course.
I think she's getting out of the way. I think there's a storm brewing. I think in regards to, the pandemic
things
and
that
among
went down
other
during
things.
the pandemic, there's a backlash coming for sure.
There's a storm brewing, and there is a reckoning on its way.
Ooh, listen to you. You sound like the particular letter Anon. Over there. There's a storm brewing.
Oh,
Justice will be served.
Yeah,
she's getting out of the way because she's going to go save children who have been kidnapped. One step away from that.
I think it's a good sign. It's a good sign that she's worried about her behavior.
As Trump got to her. Trump made her aware of the plan. Now she's part of the plan.
Okay. Enough of the Q stuff. Okay. But I think it's a sign. It's a sign that I'm not super familiar with the intimate details of public sentiment of New Zealand, but I imagine there's a lot of people not very happy, especially with all the articles coming out about the vaccine, about the boosters, even mainstream legacy news media criticizing the actions of the governments and the lockdowns. Anderson Cooper directly asking, of course, in a planned, scripted way, Bill Gates, if we did the right thing, locking down schools and all this stuff. Everybody is agreeing that the actions of governments around the world were not correct, and that they were used by big pharma, etc., for economic purposes. And you know what? I don't know exactly what her deal is, but I think she's stepping out of the way just before the train comes down the tracks. Yeah. So good for her. I hope she gets a chance to relax with her 5-year-old. All right.
Well,
with that, let's move on to the most important story of the day.
Everybody loves waffles.
It's come full circle on our show, Basil. Now,
yes, it has.
That ISO right there that you heard.
Everybody loves waffles.
That is Ben Shapiro. That is not sped up. That's a direct ISO of Ben Shapiro. Here's the full clip where we pulled this from back. I think it was early 2021, maybe late 2020, when we recognized the ways that Ben Shapiro operated over there with DailyWire. Here's the whole clip.
As we'll see, there are some questions to be brought about just how much of a friend to democracy and freedom of the press Joe Biden is. And meanwhile, the media continue to craft that narrative in just 1 second. First, let us talk about the fact that everybody loves waffles.
So The seamless ability to talk about the most important issues, string you along, and then, hey, bam! Check out
really
this waffle
incredible.
maker. Yeah.
It's really incredible. I mean, we noticed it quite a while ago, but since then, it's become a pretty common joke on the internet. I saw a brilliant clip of somebody who wrote like a Ben Shapiro article type of thing, and it was just advertiser after advertiser after advertiser. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
And our criticism of Shapiro has always been relevant, but never so illustrated as it is that this debacle has sort of illustrated.
Right. And I want to point out too that it's not so much that there's like disagreements with certain political points that either one of these people, Steven Crowder or Ben Shapiro, makes is, agreeable or disagreeable. It's more about the sort of the economics behind everything and the transparency issue.
There's a bigger point than the fight between these two guys, but it starts with the fight. So let's get into that.
Okay, so this is Daily Beast, and the headline is, "This right-wing media feud just took an ugly turn. Liberal media loves it. Now the conservative media are fighting amongst themselves. An increasingly ugly and personal feud has publicly broken out this week between two of the biggest names in the conservative entertainment complex."
Good.
That's an interesting way to put that there, Daily Beast.
You know what? And I wouldn't even necessarily disagree with them.
I wouldn't either. I actually think maybe this is pointing out the underlying issue here. But okay, with one popular YouTuber accusing right-wing media boy king Ben Shapiro's DailyWire empire of colluding with tech companies.
That, okay? Right-wing media boy king Ben Shapiro is hilarious.
Well, see, this is sort of a larger point, but this right here, this whole story here, I think could be some sort of catalyst for the pendulum to start swinging back the other way, where you have liberal and progressive media having some kind of tangible place to make arguments from, because up until this, I mean, for the last 2 years, it's been ridiculous for that side of the aisle. But this type of thing allows media to sort of have something to talk about and bash both sides, but also take sides, as we'll see here. But yeah.
You know what? I wanted to send you this clip. It's a 1-minute clip. Continue reading, but when it's time, this clip will be sitting here.
Okay, so this is let me continue reading here. Quote, "Big tech is in bed with Big Con," Steven Crowder said in a video this week, complaining about a contract offer he'd received from the Daily Wire without specifically naming the company. Now, that was a few days ago. A day after Crowder...
And you know what? In fact, that's the clip that I have. And it does explain some of the actual details of it. And I think the details are kind of important.
Okay. Where are you dropping that link?
I dropped it just right below your note there.
Right below my note. Here we go. Okay. Let's see how quickly or slowly this thing pops up.
Your internet's not the fastest today.
There's a lot going on. Let's see. A day after Crowder told his viewers to stop Big Con, the Daily Wire's chief executive, Jeremy Boring, published an hour-long response video detailing the negotiating offer that the conservative media empire sent to Crowder's agent. And so
talking about the Daily Wire. I mean, and the Daily Wire truly has become an empire.
Yeah.
In several different sort of ways. I mean, they have moved into not just making documentaries, of course, some pretty big documentaries. What is it called? What is a Woman or something?
Yeah.
But also they're like starting to make children's television. Like they're going full streaming.
I remember when who was it that got kicked off Star Wars? I forget her name, but she was brought in for some show thing. I mean, they were definitely going out. I mean, they're basically here to replace Hollywood. The liberal Hollywood.
Well, yeah, but it's more like trying to make an alternative. You're right. I see what you're saying. Hollywood thing where it's all entertainment.
Right.
It's not just news, not just whatever Ben does, but they're making kids shows. They're making narrative movies. They're really trying to do a media empire in the true sense of the word.
Okay, so here's Crowder. Here's that 1-minute clip you want.
Gina Carano is her name.
Gina Carano. Thank you,
Anthony.
Big tech is in bed with Big Con.
It's quiet.
The people I thought were fighting for you, a lot of it has been a Big Con. Now, I'm specifically avoiding naming names or going after individuals in this video, because I genuinely hope that those I'm addressing, and you know who you are, have a change of heart. Don't sign these contracts. I now know what you are signing out there. I have the luxury of not having to. Let me go through this. If any of the major platforms issues a content strike such that Crowder cannot be monetized on such platform, the fee will be reduced by 25%. And then another 20% of it happens on Apple. And then another 10% of it happens on Facebook. And then another 10% of it happens on Spotify. And then if you get a strike, meaning a suspension, another 20%. Just to drive it home. You get hit by a car, you have a sick day, you could lose $100,000 a day. This is what's sent out to everybody.
All right.
Okay.
Interesting. Yeah.
So the long and short of it, now these articles do give it, but we don't necessarily need to drone on the articles, although there's some fun parts of them, especially in the Rolling Stone one.
Yes.
So basically in this contract, that it was the first contract. It was an opening offer is what this was. Now, I did watch the video that was put out, response video put out by DailyWire that kind
Jeremy
of defended
Boring.
them. Yeah. And, what happened was they sent an opening offer to Crowder and said, here's the deal. We'll give you $50 million. We'll give you $50 million over 4 years. And they basically own him. They own his show, which is, generally how it works. I mean, it's kind of, it works like this in the mainstream news legacy
like
media.
Like record companies did this to people, to bands.
Yeah. That's another example. Yeah. For if it was a CNN, Chris Shilzilla, Brian Seltzer, they're all signing these contracts. The company is paying for it. They're buying your product. That's what happens. You get paid a bunch of money and they own the product. So this contract included things like, okay, we own your product for the 4 years. We can monetize it. We can do whatever we want with it. We'll give you $50 million, which is an absolutely outlandish amount of money for someone like Crowder, who was basically just an independent YouTube guy. Now, he did work for Fox. He was a Fox commentator and then moved into the independent thing, then started working for The Blaze. What's his face? What's his name?
Glenn Beck?
Glenn Beck, thank you. So, he's in the past few years become just sort of a juggernaut of conservative media. And kind of borders on the edge of truther type stuff, but a little bit more right down the line conservative. And, they gave an opening offer, $50 million, 4 years. They own everything. And that's, the big argument that DailyWire was giving was like, you know what? This is normal. This is normal contract stuff. Okay. And to a degree it is, but it's not normal in this new age of independent media. It's not really normal to do stuff like that. This is more like CNN, big business, big corporate legacy media. So you have Ben Shapiro, Daily Wire, acting in the exact same way as CNN would, treating its commentators, treating its talent in the exact same way that NBC or CBS would, which is like, okay, we get it. You're trying to be a big company. You're trying to take the place. You're literally trying to just push big media out and step right into their place. You're not trying to be some sort of radical new way of doing media. You can give them that. But you can also understand from what's his face's
Steven Crowder's
perspective. Because even as he listed it there, and this was the big part, sure, $50 million over 4 years. And then he goes on to describe, the details of this, which is if you get strikes, if you get kicked off a platform, if you lose Spotify, if you lose YouTube, these types of things, sure, you are losing advertising revenue, which, by the way, both of these guys rely heavily on advertising revenue. At the same time, they're asking for your money. So, okay, we all know how I feel about this. If you're going to ask for people's money and do ads on the show, what's even the point? Why would anybody give you their money? Just pick one. You stop double dipping.
Oh, well, there was DWX or DW Plus or whatever. It was like some extra paywall stuff that they wanted.
Well, paywall is one thing.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, paywall is one thing. You make premium content, Patreon. But to like actually ask for donations and then also play ads is just ludicrous, especially when you're dealing in the amounts of money that these guys are. Yeah. It's absolutely insane. Now, in total, the things that Crowder just read equaled up to 70%. So now, by the way, we'll learn some more about the dollars that Crowder's worth. And I believe that the thing he's built, he could make that money on his own. He doesn't need DailyWire.
He'd make a lot more, actually.
Yeah, he could make a lot more. But to sign a contract that if you get kicked off of YouTube, which, look, if you're a conservative guy, there's a good chance you're going to get kicked off of YouTube, that you lose 25% of the contract. And when that's $50 million, that's boom. You get a strike on YouTube that costs you $12 million. Now, my concern is not for Crowder, by the way, because if he signed, he would do everything he needed to do to not get kicked off of YouTube. And that's the problem. That's the point we've been talking about with value for value this whole time, is it's not necessarily about the money. It's about self-censoring. If he knows that getting kicked off of YouTube costs him $12 million, he is going to self-censor like no one has ever self-censored before. Gods, if we knew that we would lose $12 million for getting off of YouTube, that would make it very difficult to not self-censor. Am I right or am I right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to live with myself not being able to say what I truly felt.
Well, that's exactly why we don't sign these contracts. This is why
12 million, sure, but hey,
that's the problem with advertising dollars. It's not that you necessarily just turn into some sort of, you literally are a corporate shill. That is what advertising does. You are by definition a corporate shill when you take advertisements. But even worse is the self-censoring that comes when you know that if you say the wrong thing on YouTube, you lose $12 million. And the things in this contract totaled up, the things he just said, totaled up to 70%. So, if something happens where he says the wrong thing, he reveals the wrong thing. Now, look, he's more of an entertainer. He's not necessarily going around talking about Pizzagate or whatever. He's barely a truther type of guy. He's a straight up conservative commentator is more or less what it is.
He likes guns.
But if he says something wrong and he loses 70% of $50 million, hey, look, that's still, what is that? That's still like $15 million, but your contract, is a little less enticing, and it's still owned by DailyWire.
Right.
So you basically just sold out your entire career for what is probably a pittance compared to what he can make himself.
Well, that's part of it too. Is he has his mug club, which is basically a big email list, and if you go to that Stop Big Con website or whatever, it's just a way to sign up to his email list and get pulled into the.
He's smart.
Yeah,
he's smart. Get pulled into his email list, right?
His email list, and then to monetize that instead of advertisers. But I think he does have some sponsorships and stuff, but they're very, sort of brand specific.
Oh, yeah. No, he's corporate for sure. Yeah. He's a corporate guy. He's working the system. Now I think it's revealing that, part of the details of this is Shapiro tweeted, like, here's some things that Steven Crowder knows nothing about.
Yes.
One, business. It's like, No.
Has no idea about business.
No idea about business.
Yeah,
Okay.
the dude's worth millions of dollars. I think he knows something. I mean,
it's also
agree,
revealing. It's also revealing about Ben Shapiro that it is business to him. You know,
everything is business.
He may have started out as some sort of radical sort of guy who wanted to speak truth to power and blah, blah, blah. But it's obvious it's become business, and that's fine. But everybody should know that. I mean, you should keep in mind.
Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious.
It's business. He's doing business just like CNN would do business and everything else.
Yeah.
Now, did Steven Crowder kind of overreact to an opening bid for a negotiation? Yeah, probably. But that's kind of what makes me think that there's something else going on here. And the way that Daily Beast and Rolling Stone and everybody writing about this, they're basically calling Steven Crowder an idiot and a baby for not taking the deal.
Yeah, the Rolling Stone has a pretty egregious section of it. The article is headlined, Far Right Blowhard Calls 50 Million Daily Wire Offer a Slave Contract.
Mm-hmm.
So, Steven Crowder had to straighten out what he meant by that and blah, 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 just all that.
And if you have things to read in there, I'd like to hear it. But the point being is that I think the mainstream's defense of Shapiro and attack on an independent creator is
the bigger story.
That's the exact story. Yeah. The mainstream wants to convince everybody that not taking, quote, the slave contract is stupid. Mm-hmm. And, get back into the system. The corporate news legacy system is not just CNN. It's not just NBC. It's almost the spiritual principality of controlling independent, people with the powers of corporate economics. Yeah. And so of course they want everybody to think that Crowder's stupid for not taking the deal because they don't want anybody. They don't want the sort of attractiveness of that big contract, no matter what legacy media source is trying to suck into its sort of black hole of economic trap. It takes away the power that they own, that they have and can wield over people if people start not taking their contracts. So, of course, the mainstream media is all on Ben Shapiro's side. I think it's indicative of where exactly Ben Shapiro stands. Daily Wire, lots of people like it. Even a lot of people who listen to this show, a lot of people like Daily Wire. They say a lot of things that are agreeable, but in the end, they're just another corporate shill. And how long until that corporate shillery crosses over into tailoring the message for the powers that be?
I would say it's already been happening.
I think that's true.
The contract, this is the Rolling Stone article here, talking about the contract. The contract reads like a dream. 4 weeks of paid vacation. Probably already had that. Full editorial control over content produced, which he already had that. A staff to help promote and adapt content. He has his team there. And the right to retain ownership of any content Crowder produced prior to joining the Daily Wire, which means everything he would publish from there on forward belongs to the Daily Wire, does not belong to Steven Crowder. And this is the classic. This is why I was bringing up the music industry thing, because back in the day, the only way to get out there was to get signed by a record label, and then you get a song, and then it goes on the radio. And there was a very systematic way that it was supposed to happen for bands. But the flip side was, as a musician, you're basically getting a huge loan from the record companies to, make the album and do all the promo and blah, blah, blah. You got to pay them back, and you don't even own the masters. The record company owns the masters a lot of times. And of course, that's changed over the years, and more independent people have been fighting for their own right to have a way to establish themselves. But in this era now, in 2023, it's like, I'm glad we're at a point now where Crowder can actually say no and he'll be fine, and be able to continue building his own thing. But yeah, if you're going to give up ownership of all the content, you might second guess in general, plus all the censorship stuff on top of it. Then, you're going to say something?
I was just going to say, the whole should he take it, shouldn't he take it conversation, I think that that's a big distraction. Honestly, I do not care about Steven Crowder. I do not care if he gets enough money. I do not care. He's going to be fine no matter what he does, whether he takes the deal and makes 50 million or doesn't take the deal and make 100 million or less than 50 million. I think that's so beside the point on the well-being of Steven Crowder. I have literally zero interest in the well-being of that man.
Sure. Yeah. Well, that wasn't really my point, but yeah, he says he's worth 30 million here.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying that that's where I stand. And I think that the conversation, and you can see it in the mainstream, the conversation that's going on now seems to be distracting from a more important point, which was a man said no to the establishment. Mm-hmm. And this is what happens when a man says no to the establishment. And Ben Shapiro, who has snuck in, we've been tracking the movement of mainstream corporate media, people and money, the infiltration into independent media. That's been a movement we've seen for a couple of years, especially during and after COVID. There's this recognition that legacy media is dead. Independent media is where it's at. It's the future of media. And Ben Shapiro obviously has now become some sort of agent of the establishment to try to wrangle the independent movement. And whatever, I don't care how much money Crowder gets or doesn't get, but there's the fact that the mainstream conversation gears the whole situation towards, oh, he's not making a choice in his best interest. Well, where did we hear that? We hear that in politics. We hear that in vaccine talks. We hear that it's the same method. But this time it's geared towards destroying the idea that independent media, can stay independent. And I'm suspicious that Crowder is even in on it. The whole thing seems like an op.
It could be. It could be because there is a mutually beneficial thing that comes out of this with so much press that they're receiving. Yeah. A feud is one of the greatest ways to get everybody's attention, especially if it's amongst the conservative. Feud? Well, because nobody. We don't have like a personal hot takes on people, that really.
I tried starting a feud with Chris Shilzilla, but he didn't take the bait.
Yeah,
he didn't take the bait. Come on, Shilzilla, come at me, bro.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. I don't think that's really the MO of the show, but we have our moments with people and have had them
MO.
over the year.
That's MO? I'm changing the whole thing right now. The whole point of this show is to fight with Chris Shilzilla.
Well, yeah, I mean, it would be great. It would be great television. Although, I wonder what kind of attention we would get if we actually were able to set up some kind of
I don't know. Match. We probably don't even want the attention. No, so this is what every single person's talking about. So I'm glad we got in on it. But you had there are some interesting takes you found.
Sure, yeah. So Lauren Chen, I think she's affiliated with The Blaze, and she had a whole response video, and she breaks down and cries because she thought she basically had an offer throughout the last few years from DailyWire as well as from Crowder. So she's seen sort of how they operate, and she talks about how she knew that this type of partnership would never work because of the different philosophies behind each operation. And I'll play this second clip that I have here, Basil. The first one's really, I think it's less relevant now. This is Lauren Chen talking about what it would be like from Crowder's perspective.
If you're Steven Crowder, think of try to put yourself in his shoes, try to look past the $50 million. If you're bringing tens of millions of dollars to DailyWire in the form of your paid subscribers, and they're only going to give you a fraction of that back in terms of pay while you shoulder all of the costs for the production value, and then for them to say, and by the way, if sponsors drop you, we're going to cut your wages, which your own subscriber base more than covers, and which is lower anyway than what you'd be making elsewhere. That is a bad deal. That does feel like bending to big tech. And, you know, it's interesting because Jeremy says, well, not everyone has this clause. Everyone is different. We would have removed it. Then why are you offering it to someone like Steven Crowder? Why are you offering it to someone who's your friend?
Yeah. So, well, you know, the big tech angle is a good one, and it's been made by a lot of people now. Yeah. But yeah, if the cut of 25% of the whole contract is predicated on whether Susan wants to keep
your salary's tied to
to
Susan's decisions, which would it's a direct bat onto big tech. She does go on to say,
but again, Phil, it is literally doing the bidding of Susan.
Yeah.
You know, Susan wants to create a system where if she kicks people off, they don't just lose their platform, but they lose even the corporate side of a funding structure.
Right.
So it's Shapiro literally teaming up with Susan to put a independent creator person in a precarious situation.
Right.
And that's the big part. It's literally Shapiro teeing up the ball for Susan to kick Crowder and to basically destroy him.
Or anybody that eventually signs on with DailyWire. It really is sort of I forgot the words I had in my brain, but I do want to mention that Lauren Chen goes on to say that The Blaze, what's the other one? Not Newsweek, but there's another one that's independent. I forget what it was called. Anyway, there's a few other places out there. She says they don't do that. They don't have these clauses in there that make it so if you lose or, you know, you get suspended or something on YouTube, then, you know, salary pay is reduced. In fact, you know, it's kind of the other way where it's like, yeah, that kind of stuff happens. So we're going to make sure, you know, supplement you with some kind of income that's consistent. And, you know, just for the purposes of research and being diligent here, DailyWire, for those of you wondering, is ranked number 64 on the Harvard media ownership, the U.S. mainstream media ownership list. So 64 is pretty high. And it says here, wholly owned by Bentley Ventures LLC, formerly Forward Publishing LLC, which is itself owned by Jeremy Boring, Ben Shapiro, Caleb Robinson, and Ferris Wilks. In 2020, the company is profitable and grossed $65 million in revenue. That was 2020. Shapiro is now moving into entertainment. Caleb Robinson and Ben Shapiro launched the Daily Wire in 2015. An initial investment by Ferris Wilks. As of July 2020, Shapiro, NPR, Boring claim they have ever met Dan Wilks or received any money from Wilks Brothers, LLC. The company says it reached self-funding in 14 months and has powered its own growth from revenue since that time. And they reach, I think, like almost 20 million, 19.9 million on average monthly visits on their website. So pretty big deal. And they're mainstream. They are the mainstream in terms of conservatism. And I do like the conservative entertainment complex, which is exactly what this is. And again, maybe they're both benefiting in some way out of it. Although, you know, just looking at the aspects of the controversy itself, I tend to lean inside with Crowder, but again, it's not really necessarily about
as
that.
a creator, you know, if you're in his situation, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and it makes sense because you have all this built up content and everything else, and to just hand it all over and then be penalized if you can't keep up with certain promises or demands or something. Like, I get that's like the business model of doing things, but it's just you lose that freedom, you know. So,
I mean, that part is just business. I mean, if he owes a certain amount of episodes,
but that's true,
and doesn't deliver an episode, then you don't get paid for that episode.
But that's true. I mean, but that's true even as he stays independent. Doesn't really make a difference. Probably makes a lot less if he's with Daily Wire.
Yeah. Right. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think that's the biggest part of it. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. A lot of the details of it is just like business squabbles, you know, and I think the business squabbles of the well-being of Crowder is like the least interesting thing about it. But the more interesting thing about it is basically the revelation. Now, we've known this and people have known this, but like the blatant display that DailyWire, formerly like independent conservative truth-telling blah blah blah, is actually just a copy and paste of the legacy news media. It's just about money. It's just about economics. It's not about truth or integrity or fostering, a community of I don't know, whatever. It's nothing. It's just another legacy news corporation copy paste.
Yep.
Boom.
And that's why Adam Curry, the man who started the value for value, or one of the pair who started the value for value model, said every corporate sponsorship is a form of censorship. And that's exactly it's almost the perfect example, because DailyWire is not trying necessarily to be a censorship platform or anything. It's just through the economics, through the business model.
Yep.
They are effectively being proxy to a YouTube and Susan and all that. So
yep, exactly. It's another control mechanism, and Shapiro is playing his part as that control mechanism for the establishment. And with that, I think it's time we celebrate not only your birthday, Gons, but also the value for value model.
Go to canarycry.party, put it in your URL. There you will find a tree of links that leads to everything from where to listen to the show, watch the show, how to produce the show, how to connect with us and the community.
Welcome to Canary Cry Party. It's the place you wanna be. So say welcome to Canary Cry. Gameplay, canarycry.party.
That's right. Go check it out. canarycry.party. All sorts of good stuff there. And at the top, you'll see a happy birthday Gons producership. We'll leave that up for probably over the weekend. If anybody wants to give Gons a little happy birthday producership, you can go check it out there. And we're going to thank some people who came in today.
It's break time. Come on, take a break.
Value for value, folks. Look, Ben Shapiro does not believe that the value for value model is a good business model.
Everybody loves waffles.
Any good business person would not operate on the value for value model.
How aggressive he is here.
Everybody loves waffles.
It's like a mind control. He's telling you that everyone loves waffles. It's a fact.
That's the mission. That's the mission.
I don't know that everybody loves waffles. Some people like pancakes.
We should make a waffle mix. We could get a white label waffle mix and send it in the supply drop. So value for value, folks, it's the complete absence of corporate money. We take no corporate money whatsoever, no advertising, affiliate codes, platform partnerships, nothing. We haven't signed a contract anywhere. And like I said, it's not necessarily the best business model, but it does ensure that self-censorship, corporate censorship, all these things do not sneak in to the program. We say what we want, when we want, and we don't consider advertisers pulling their funding. We don't have to lose $12 million if we get kicked off of YouTube, although we do lose producers when that happens. But you know what? What are you going to do? We are entirely funded by people who get value from the show. And when you get value from the show, you just know that you got to put value back in at some point. It's the only way that it works. It's a nice big circle, baby. And if you get value, put value back in. You can do so with your time, your talent, or your treasure. It's not all just about money. But we do like to thank those who support the show financially. It's essential to keeping us going. And let's thank them now. We already thanked our executive producers. That's Sir Darren out of the Hungry Pandas, Maureen M, Felicia D, and our streaker Kevin M. Thank you guys so much. But we got a few more people to thank. And Gons, thank the Lord, it only took 20 days, but we got our first supply dropper of the year. That's right, canarycrysupply.com. Go check it out. You're supporting the show for $33.33 per month, which comes out to be $2.77 per episode. I think that's pretty good. considering the value, hopefully, that this show is bringing to your life. It helps us get through the hard times, and 4 times a year, once per quarter, we send you a package filled with custom created, producer produced, artist designed, made in America Canary Cry News Talk gear. It's cool stuff. We love it. We've got even some cooler stuff coming up. And if you sign up for the supply drop, not only are you putting value back in and receiving value, but you're also creating an opportunity to create more value for the rest of your supply droppers. The more people we got signed up, the cooler and cooler stuff we get to put together, and we're very excited about this first supply drop of the year. And if you sign up now, you'll get the Canary Cry calendar. Yes, if you missed out on the calendar last quarter, you'll get the Canary Cry calendar. It's really a beloved treasure around here. And I'd like to thank our new supply dropper producer, Donald W.
Donald W. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Highly recommend it, folks. Go check it out, canarycrysupply.com. It's really the one thing that got us through last year on a consistent basis, and we have some goals. We hope to include more people in that because we've got some big plans, and that helps us survive while we take risks. You know, everything we do on this show is a risk, and surviving those risks is sort of directly related to how many supply droppers we have. So thank you very much. We're all waiting for the supply drop.
Yes, sir.
Waiting for supply drop.
Yes, and I don't know. You probably were going to bring this up later in the show, Gons, but for those who are considering getting in the supply drop and getting the calendar, those who have the calendar, they would know that today is Penguin Appreciation Day.
That's right.
It is the official Penguin Appreciation Day, and you probably wouldn't know it unless you had the Canary Cry calendar. Yeah. All right, we got some producers coming in. Let's thank them now. Starting with Lady Night Little Wing.
Lady Night Little Wing, thank you.
That's right. Thanks, Lady Night Little Wing, coming in with a nice round number. She says, blessings from Lady Night Little Wing. Love the guitar, Gons. XOXO.
Thank you.
There he is.
There you go.
Oh,
Fun.
Yeah. Okay, next up we have Sir Eli P.
Thank you, Sir Eli P.
Can you check the round table and get me Sir Eli P's
I checked.
knighthood?
I checked. Not there. Which means
that was one of the ones that didn't make it.
That was one of the ones that didn't make it. So Sir Eli P, we got to figure out what episode, and then we'll make sure it's in there, because there are a bunch of knights and dames that we have not put their names on the actual round table. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know for a fact we knighted Sir Eli P because he's also a knight over at No Agenda.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Did you go through the email to see?
I have not. I haven't had an opportunity to do that.
Hold on a second. Yeah, let me see if I can just find it real quick, because that is a shame. We need to do this better. So, Sir Eli, please send us in your knight name. So we can put it on the list, put it on the website, make sure we got it. If I could figure out how to spell his name correctly, that would probably certainly
help. He's good radio.
I know. Well, we got to give the knights the honor they deserve. But Sir Eli comes in for the $40.83. So it's 40 for your 40th birthday, 83 for 1983 for Gonz's Big B Day. Happy B Day, old timer from a late 80s baby. Suggestion: you guys do push-up segments for donations. Inspire some easy fitness for everybody. Do random calisthenics and smoke each other a little bit. Get some people moving. Yeah, we have talked about this.
Yeah, I've done push-ups on air. It was one of the episodes you were
push-ups on air.
Yeah, it was one of the episodes where you weren't there at the end. So I said I was going to do push-ups, and I did a few of them. Yeah.
Yes, a little tough to do at the VR, but I think we could figure something out. Maybe a special event, a special stream.
Yeah,
where we have some feats of strength.
Room cam.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you,
Eli.
Thank you, appreciate it, Sir Eli P.
Next up, we got Ebony F coming in with the 4040.
Ebony F, thank you.
Next, we I couldn't tell if this person wanted to be unanimous. I think maybe they did. So we're just going to say Anonymous comes in for 4040.
Anonymous, thank you.
Next up, we got Sir Moore of Night of the Burning Chariots coming in 4040.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, 188 episodes in a row.
Oh, 188. Thank you very much.
Right. We also have John M. coming in for 3333.
Thank you, John M.
Mm-hmm. We have Autumn B. coming in for a nice round number.
Hey, Autumn B. Thank you.
Thank you. We've got Kevin C. coming in with a nice round number.
C. Ooh, Kevin M. and Kevin C. Huh?
Lots of Kevins. Yeah. Poco Jojo comes in for the 1983.
Poco Jojo, thank you.
Yeah. We got Dame Gale, Canary Whisperer, and Lady of X's and O's on a 219 episode streak.
Woo.
In for the 1983.
Oh yeah, Streakalicious. Women rule.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dame Gale. We got Laura C. coming in for the 1983.
Laura C. Thank you very much.
And there we go. I think that concludes the birthday producerships. We also had Sir LX Protocol V2, Night of the Berean Protocol, coming in for a pocket full of sevens and 133 episodes in a row.
133 is all about spiritual enlightenment. It is all about surrendering to the divine. 133 is sending you a guiding light.
Whoa.
I forgot about
that one too. That's intense.
Oh, spooky. Thank you very much, Sir Alex Protocol, and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. That concludes our list of financial producers. Came in the amount of 777 or more, which entitles them to have a note read on the show. We've got a few more to thank. Came in under the $7 mark, and we'll thank them now, starting with Runk Smash on a 5-episode streak.
Runk Smash, thank you.
We got Doctor Who Dundad on a 20-episode streak.
Thank you, Doctor Who Dundad.
Sir Casey the Shield Knight, 255.
Sir Casey the Shield Knight, still paving the way.
Veronica D, 219.
Thank you, Veronica D.
Sir Scott, Knight of Truth, 244.
Thank you, Sir Scott.
Yo, that's all of them.
Oh yeah, Streakalicious. Women rule.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Really is Streakalicious. Thanks, everybody, for your financial support of the show. If you want to support the show, head on over to canarycryradio.com/support.
canarycryradio.com/support.
And thank you for your patronage.
Play.
Shut up and take my money. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage.
Is it Corona time?
Yeah.
Ooh, it is.
It's Corona time. COVID-19. 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 Coronavirus. I am vaccine. Vaccine, number one way.
All right. So this is a story from ABC4.com. And the headline, Utah plastic surgeon allegedly destroyed vaccines, gave fake shots to children.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this is another topic that people are falling on one side or the other. Here's the news report from ABC4.
And a Utah doctor and his company are facing serious federal charges, accused of running a fake vaccine ring. Court documents state Salt Lake County plastic surgeon Dr. Michael Moore and his co-defendants destroyed nearly $30,000 worth of government-issued vaccines. Health and Human Service investigation found that they would fill out fake vaccine cards in exchange for a cash donation. They're also accused of giving kids fake COVID shots filled with saline at the request of their parents. Dr. Moore and his co-defendants face several federal charges, including conspiracy to defraud the United States.
She almost couldn't get it out. Conspiracy to defraud.
Yeah, it's funny because I mean there are people out there, I don't know, somewhere off in the country there, somebody would consider this guy a hero.
I was going to say, I think this happened more than the mainstream will ever admit to or highlight. There's a case here, so it's public.
Yeah,
but
that's why I think it's interesting that they're even bringing this up now, when the mainstream is in such like a strange in-between place in regards to the vaccine. There are it's very strange. I almost brought a pair of articles from mainstream reputable, quote unquote reputable news sources, mainstream sources that literally reported the exact opposite science of each other.
Oh, right, yes.
The mainstream is not on the same page anymore. I mean, we saw they were sort of almost supernaturally in lockstep during the lockdowns and stuff. And now there's just like this weird war going on where you'll have conflicting facts, conflicting science in two formerly aligned corporate news outlets. And I think this is an interesting part of that because it's like, honestly, who cares? Like, who cares about a guy now if 2 years ago he was faking vaccines at the behest of parents?
I will tell you exactly what the problem is, Basil, and this is quoted by a person here. Right. Who is the, let's see, what does this person say? A special agent in charge with the Department of Health and Human Services, offices of the Inspector General Kurt L. Mueller, said this, quote, by allegedly falsifying vaccine cards and administering saline shots to children instead of COVID-19 vaccines, not only did this provider endanger the health and well-being of the vulnerable population, but also undermined public trust in the integrity of federal healthcare programs.
Yeah.
And to that, I'd say, special agent in charge, it was because of the lack of trust and the integrity of the federal healthcare programs that this person did that. And also, giving out saline shots, I don't know how that necessarily endangers the health and well-being of the vulnerable population. I mean, I guess you can say, they're going to get COVID, it's going to pass COVID. Yeah, but it's almost like if a gun shop, started handing out or selling water guns, but like telling the people buying them that they're real guns, and then saying like, it's a public threat. All these people with water guns who thought they had guns. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So anyway, there's your logic from Department of Health and Human Services.
I mean, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. And there's a moment there where I'm like, I didn't know they were taking donations. Interesting that they even reported it as donations instead of like taking money to fill out fake vaccine cards. But it was donations. And I wonder, somebody's got to cover the cost of the
Maybe they were doing it for free and people were just being nice and saying, hey, who knows? Thank you for your service. Value for value. On the streets, although this seems to be illegal, obviously, in the letter of the law.
This seems like a test. This seems like a little test of public opinion.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
will people actually get mad at this or won't they?
Right, because that'll determine how hard they press into going after people that may have done. Because I'm sure they have know about some people that did this kind of thing. So interesting to say the least. But that's not all. What else we got in this little segment here? We got AI stuff, or what is this?
Well, you had another COVID thing.
I did? Oh, I did. Okay. Yeah, this is real quick. This is just a side note, and I think this is one of those things that we expected. It's another one of those things we said that got us in trouble, But CNN headline here, Japan considers downgrading COVID-19 to same level as seasonal flu.
Yeah.
So,
CNN.
CNN saying it, yeah.
CNN reporting on Japan's downgrading of COVID.
Yeah.
level of seasonal flu. Kind of speaks for itself, but pretty interesting.
It does, but yeah, I mean, you say something like that, you have that exact same headline, or just say like COVID-19 might be same thing as flu. You're disinfo, misinfo. You're if you're
banned
Steven Crowder, you're losing $12 million. I mean, it's a serious offense. So,
but fun little detail on this article over on CNN. You go down to the bottom. There's that picture of people getting stuffed into the subway there in Japan.
Yeah.
The train number is 3433.
Yeah, of course. No surprises there.
Glad we can just jam right through that.
Yeah.
Let's jump over to the Great Reset real quick, or if you got an AI jingle somewhere, that'll help.
We need a great reset.
Artificial intelligence.
Interesting detail as we track, ChatGPT, Google feeling threatened by the new era of internet search, things like that. This is coming from phonearena.com. The headline, Google to let go 12,000 employees immediately. Reuters reveals that Alphabet, the parent company behind Google, is about to lay off some 12,000 employees across a plethora of divisions effective immediately. This is 6% of Google's total workforce, which is roughly 200,000 employees globally. Allegedly, the information came straight from a memo written by Alphabet CEO Sundar Pichai. Employees from all regions in which Google operates will be let go, the U.S. included. The layoffs will reportedly involve various sectors and departments like recruitment, corporate teams, as well as Google's own engineering and product divisions. However, it's not known if employees from the recently shut down Stadia cloud gaming service are included in the total tally for the layoffs or not.
That's
Quote,
what Phone Arena cares about. Is cloud gaming service, Stadia.
Quote, the fact that these changes will impact the lives of Googlers weighs heavily on me, and I take full responsibility for the decision that led us here, reportedly reads Sundar Pichai's internal memo addressed to the affected staff. As it usually happens, tech giants tend to expand their workforces rather rapidly in order to scoop up all the talent on the job market, but such economic downturns lead the unfortunate necessity for job cuts. Google, Microsoft, and even Meta have been aggressively competing on the tech job market, headhunting for all the promising engineers in the process of gradually expanding their rosters. Yeah, this has kind of been a funny little secret in the tech industry, is you got the big companies will just go on these crazy hiring streaks.
Yeah.
And they'll hire everybody in hopes to, get the good
trying
ones.
to find the needle in the haystack.
Yeah, right. And then they kind of, some people get great jobs who maybe weren't quite qualified for them. Yeah. But, this is an attempt to find the unicorns. Yeah. The affected employees in the U.S. have already been notified of the cuts, whereas it will take Google some more time to lay off staff in other regions due to different legislation and bureaucracy. And then it goes into sort of the economic uncertainty of the looming recession, and talking about
looming
other tech
recession.
Yeah,
not the one right now
recession.
where a bunch of people are getting laid off by big tech companies. It's the one that's coming, though.
Yeah. But I think some other timing that they don't mention here is even more interesting, and that is the fact that AI has crossed some sort of boundary recently, and Google publicly has talked about in the past and even recently that they are afraid that they won't be able to keep up with what AI means for their main business, because it's hard to it's hard to compete with the AI search engine possibilities and the very fundamental act of doing a Google search is about to become archaic. Yeah. I thought the very specific departments getting laid off do speak to maybe some extra fat, considering AI could take these jobs. I mean, recruitment, they're just getting rid of recruitment departments. Like, yeah, we don't need to hire any humans. And also we have AI has been shown to be at least adequate at doing recruitment, being able to scan resumes and look at people's work, even coding. Somebody could write coding and then AI can look at it and tell if it's good or not. I think it's interesting that recruitment is sort of this two-headed snake type of thing to get rid of, because A, you don't need humans when you got AI working for you, and B, if you do need a human, you let the AI choose them. Corporate teams, who needs them? As well as engineering and product division.
I was going to say, the engineers, aren't they sort of the bread and butter of good architecture over there at Google?
Yeah, but we have seen recent huge developments in AI basically doing better at creating products, coding software, solving problems,
especially engineering problems. They can do modeling and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Especially engineering problems. So, I think it might just be sort of the beginning of the wave.
It's over, folks.
Humans.
And
I think
over.
It's ironic that the company that created the most advanced AI is the first one to be letting go of employees, the first casualties to the AI job takeover. Sorry, guys.
Are you
have any comments on that, or you want to keep moving?
Are you going to read the article from the futurism thing?
Futurism?
Yeah, CNET is quietly publishing entire articles generated by AI.
No, this is the bite. This is my next one. I was just letting you make a comment if you'd like.
Yeah, well, it's about AI, so it's sort of right in line there.
You can just say, no, I don't have a comment. This is coming from the bite. The headline, CNET is quietly publishing entire articles generated by AI. Here it is, folks. 90% of content by the end of the year. This article was generated using automation technology, reads a drop-down description. Next time you're on your favorite news site, you might want to double-check the byline to see if it was written by an actual human. CNET, a massively popular tech news outlet, has been quietly employing the help of automation technology, a stylistic euphemism for AI, on a new wave of financial explainer articles seemingly starting around November of last year. In the absence of any formal announcement or coverage, it appears that this was first spotted by online marketer Gail Breton in a tweet on Wednesday. The articles are published under the unassuming appellation of CNET Money Staff, and encompasses topics like, quote, should you break an early CD for a better rate? Or, quote, what is Zelle and how does it work?
maybe something is going on there.
This is a very short article. It just says it doesn't work. That byline obviously does not paint the full picture, and so your average reader visiting the site likely would have no idea that what they're reading is AI generated. It's only when you click on CNET Money Staff that the actual authorship is revealed. Quote, this article was generated using automation technology, reads a drop-down description, quote, and thoroughly edited and fact-checked by an editor on our editorial staff. Since the program began, CNET has put about 73 AI-generated articles. That's not a whole lot for a site that big, and absent an official announcement of the program, it appears leadership is trying to keep the experiment as low-key as possible. CNET did not respond to questions about the AI-generated articles. Here's a block quote. Are you a current or former CNET employee? What is this? Oh, this is just a call out for whistleblowers. Are you a current or former CNET employee who wants to discuss the company's foray into AI-generated articles? Tips at futurism.com. Because the content seems carefully optimized for search traffic, see, that's the key, Gons. That's why we need to start writing our show notes with AI, because the ChatGPT is good for search traffic. Google's outlook on AI-generated content will likely make or break the future of the program. Google, what are you going to do, guys? Though high-ranking Google official John Mueller said last year that AI-generated content with the primary aim of manipulating search rankings is up against the company's policies, a Google spokesperson clarified to Futurism that AI-generated content isn't entirely verboten. Quote, our goal for search is to show helpful, relevant content that's created for people rather than to attain search engine rankings. Have you found these articles yet in just Googling stuff?
I have not looked.
Okay, so in my search for instructions on how to install a solar system in my house, I came across billions of these articles where it is super, super, super long. It's like, 50 paragraphs long, but it's kind of just the same question over and over and over and over. And the answers just kind of put in different words. And these are AI articles that are tailored to, getting the Google search algorithm. And they are incredibly annoying and not very helpful. So this is why I fear for all of our lives if AI takes over all content. But that's besides the point. Where was I? Our goal for search is to show helpful, relevant content that's created for people rather than to attain search engine rankings. Public liaison for search, Danny Sullivan, said in a statement provided to Futurism, quote, our ranking team focuses on the usefulness of the content rather than how the content is produced, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Boring, 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 boring. But you get the point. CNET being really one of the biggest news websites. I mean, CNET is incredibly, frequently trafficked, especially with things with tech and news-related stuff. People use CNET for all sorts of things. If you're shopping for a computer, et cetera, et cetera. And so it's not surprising that they were sort of quietly trying to create, AI-generated content. But considering that most AI-generated content is incredibly bad, CNET is kind of a bigger outlet to be moving into this, and kind of concerning considering how trusted they are.
Yeah, CNET is number 23 on the Harvard media ownership list. And it says here, Red Ventures. Huh?
Tell me more.
Oh, yeah. Red Ventures owns CNET. Rick Elias is Red Ventures' CEO and co-founder. He bought it from Viacom CBS in 2020. Red Ventures received $250 million from Silver Lake, an international private technology investor. I've heard of Silver Lake. Its other minority shareholder, General Atlantic, a global growth investor, has been with the company since 2010, and they're a private for profit, and they reach 84.34 million people per month.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. That's 4 times as much as DailyWire.
Yeah. Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, there's enough volume there where you can sneak in some AI articles to test drive how the public would respond. And it seems like they were under the radar for a while and not really,
Yeah, it's doing it secretly. That's kind of the weird part, but it's also not that weird because of course it's going to happen right beneath our nose and we're barely going to notice it.
Right.
I mean, this article does mention that AP has been kind of using it for earnings reports since 2015. Mm-hmm. Now, we don't do a lot of earnings reports on this show, but AP being even more influential in the news arena, for them to have really committed. Now, they did it publicly, so that's a little different. Right. But I think it does show to go. Yeah, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, show to go. Let's talk a little bit about the money stuff, because interestingly enough, Zelle was brought up in one of these articles here, and that's what went down. So I got a couple clips here, and this first one, is there an order here you want with these clips, Basil, or is it good just the way they're coming in?
They're nearly identical. The first one is a little bit more, there's a little more there. So
okay, let's see here. Let me start it from the beginning.
You can tell by the way I labeled these clips. It's Fox Clip 1, money missing. Mm-hmm. Fox Clip 2, missing money. So.
Okay, here's money missing.
So many Bank of America customers are taking to social media right now. They're reporting that they woke up to money missing from their accounts. Well, BofA just posted this message to their app saying that it's because Zelle transactions made between January 14th and January 17th may be delayed or not posted altogether. They add that they're working on fixing this problem and that transactions will be posted as soon as possible and appear in your account activity and balance. They apologize for the inconvenience, but all you have to do is search Bank of America on your social media feed and see that that is not enough for those people that are reporting, in some cases, negative bank accounts this morning.
Negative bank accounts.
Yeah.
Oh man, what a bummer. And this is something we've seen the trends going in this direction with the trucker stuff last year in Canada. Was the first time that not the first time, obviously, but it sort of the world was more or less, or at least the people in America especially, were paying attention to this idea that banks can shut you out. Beforehand, people didn't really think that that's possible. There was a whole period of time. I remember talking about it with some friends back in 2016, 2015, saying like, yeah, if you really think about it, a bank account we have now, it's just numbers on a screen. Like, yeah, it gets us stuff, but really what's stopping in a place like Bank of America to just be like, delete, or yep, nope, you don't have any money in that account, and there's nothing you can do about it. So it's sort of an interesting...
Or that they would, do it purposefully or whatever. I mean, like a glitch is one thing, but like, the anti-conspiracy theory people, they're famous go-to argument that always wins every conspiracy argument. Why would they do that? And so I'm safe because I can't personally think of a reason that they would turn off my bank account.
There's lots of reasons that they would do that. Okay, here's Fox 32 missing money.
Today was supposed to be payday, but tonight her check still isn't in her account. And the bank told her to come back in the middle of February to get it straightened out.
Check my account, noticed that $2,689 was not in my account, and that's exactly how much my check would have been. I called the bank. The bank was not accepting any calls. I went to a branch. When I went to the branch, the line was around the corner.
Bank of America is doubling down tonight, saying the issues have been resolved and deposits and transfers are starting to reappear in customer accounts. Corey?
Today
good. I'm glad the money's showing up in their accounts again.
Now, if you were on Twitter yesterday, it was exploding. Just thousands and thousands of people complaining that they had money missing from their accounts, and it wasn't clear
you think maybe
that they were
all... I was going to say, maybe there was a bot project to stir the sentiment, maybe try to cause some kind of...
That's exactly what came to mind. Now, of course, the mainstream, in bed with the big banks, are going to minimize the thing, saying, oh, this one lady didn't get her check cashed, and some people are experiencing a little glitch or whatever. But there was it was a little worrying. I was on there, I'm like, oh my gosh, is this it?
You got sucked in. I think I got a little sucked into the not the fear necessarily, but the panic of like, oh my gosh, what about my bank account? We need to buy gold right now. We need gold bars and seeds.
Yeah. I mean, it was the closest to like triggering a full on bank run that I'd ever seen. Even now, you just do a little search on BofA on Twitter.
Yeah.
It looks like our show right now is popping up at the top of the list.
Well, on then yours, curated.
Well, the point being that yesterday everybody was blasting off, or the 18th or whatever. It was post after post after post after post after post about Bank of America. But now you search BofA and it's like everything was a couple days ago. Not a single person posting about it now. I think there's a little bit of, if not censoring, at least a little, tinkering with the algorithm.
Yeah.
It's not showing you because it's not, it's not trending anymore, and all of the things were like from a day or two ago, except for my post, our post about this show, which had BofA in the title or in the description. And so they're like, oh, we got to make sure that this guy.
Yeah, well, yeah, these guys are talking about it now. Make sure that nobody can see it.
Yeah, but there was thousands of people, and there's videos of people like lined up around the block, going down to their bank, and tons of people being told like, no, that's just, your money's not there and it won't be there. Just leave us alone. It'll be there. We'll let you know in February. See what happens.
Yeah, I mean, we laugh now, but it is kind of the freakiest thing in terms of we've never seen, at least in my lifetime, a true bank run in the United States.
Yeah. Well, you make a good point about the bots. Like, it could very easily have been a sort of social engineering attack on Bank of America, on our economy as a whole. Try to whip up frantic responses and get everybody to, start a true bank run. Not since Mary Poppins have I seen a true bank run.
It's a good.
Give me my money.
That's a pretty good reference. Well, it's okay because I think Bank of America, they might be doing some moving around of money behind the shadows there. Because it says here in Bloomberg, Treasury taps retirement funds to avoid breaching U.S. debt limit. That's a good sign, right? Let's tap into those retirement funds, man. We gotta make sure the economy doesn't collapse. Treasury Department is beginning to use the use of special measures to avoid a U.S. payments default after the federal debt limit was reached Thursday. The department is altering investments in 2 government-run funds for retirees, in a move that will give the Treasury scope to keep making federal payments while it's unable to boost the overall level of debt. Cool. It just goes on, talks about Janet Yellen. She's yelling about stuff.
Classic.
Yeah.
This happens pretty much every time that we hit up against the debt ceiling. You start hearing about this stuff. I mean, I think it's sort of a political tool, as the debt ceiling already is a political tool.
Built in, yeah. It's like a cycle. It's built in.
Yeah. So they start pulling from like something very important, like the retirement funds of our, elderly population to pay for the country. And so you can make a moral argument of like, see, we must increase our debt ceiling, increase spending. We must be able to. Look, we get it. You guys make up all the money. You make up everything. You print whatever money you want. You don't have to take it from the retirement funds of our veterans. It's not what we did during COVID. We just printed it. Why don't you just print it?
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah.
The next round of printing is coming.
Well, and that's the moral argument is, hey, we raise the debt ceiling. Let us keep printing money. Let us keep increasing the cash supply, triggering a recession and inflation. Let us do it. And if you don't let us do it, we will drain your grandma dry. We will suck her dry. Her veins will be empty. We will have taken all of her money, all of her retirement funds, because you wouldn't let us raise the debt ceiling and print more money. I mean, it is literally the government holding us hostage, where we start making too much of a stink about printing money and recessions and inflations and trying to rein in government spending. Boom, Congress can come in and drain Grandpa dry. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, Grandpa. Thanks for your service. But we need your money to pay for some Planned Parenthood.
Ukraine.
Yeah. Ukraine and Planned Parenthood.
Yeah. It's funny because the debt ceiling, the debt limit, it's so arbitrary. It's like it's kind of like the
it's a mind game.
It's a magical. It's like a magic trick to make you think that there are limits to this thing, but there really isn't. And I wonder if they're planning something big for the 33 billion trillion in debt. Because what are we at? 31.4.
We should throw a party.
Yep, they raised that ceiling to 33, and then they hit it. Maybe it's when the aliens come out to party.
We should throw a party when the debt counter gets to 33 trillion.
It's actually, there's
have a countdown.
That's sort of the quote unquote official number that they cite, for the public. But isn't it actually, if you get liabilities and all that, isn't it closer to 100 trillion?
I'm sure.
It's
who even knows?
Ridiculous.
It's all made up, anyways.
That's true.
All right.
Yep.
Well, some people worked very hard on some Christmas gifts for you, Gons.
Oh, they did?
Should we take a look at those?
Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Christmas. Yeah. The birth of our sweet baby Gons.
Oh, no.
It's Christmas in January, folks.
Please.
Sorry, birthday gift.
Yeah,
birthday
that's,
gifts.
yeah. Okay, don't
take
do
a
that
look.
to me.
Break.
This is a break. Don't just consume the content, but
become the content. Become the content.
Take a break.
We'll take a quick break to thank our producers who come in with their God-given talent. We appreciate all of you out there who help pitch in to build the community behind Canary Cry News Talk here. The culture behind the community, that's what it is. And we're going to start off with a speak pipe. I think we have a speak pipe here, yeah.
Please leave a message after the tone.
At the tone, please record your message.
Leave a message. Beep.
Message.
Go to canarycrynewstalk.com. Look for a green tab on the right side or the bottom. Click on it. It'll give you a little pop-up window where you can record a message of up to 90 seconds, and it'll reach us, and we will decide whether to play it or not. This one is from Courtney, Lola, and Cassius.
Oh.
Hey, Basil and Gons. We were just wanting to call and wish Gons a happy birthday.
That's just Enoch. Just don't think about that. Peanut butter and jelly. What do you think is good? Peanut butter and jelly. Me and my look at my mom. Look at Gons and Basil. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear God. Happy birthday to you. Wow, wow, wow.
I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Thank you for all you do. God bless you.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. How sweet is that?
Yeah, that was nice. I felt very much at home. That's how my house sounds. Just children yelling and, singing. And I prefer that happy birthday song over Joe Biden's. So that's...
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Courtney, Lola, and Cassius. We appreciate it.
Yes, indeed.
I think they had some art earlier, and now they have a little speak pipe message here. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I think that's it for speak pipe. I don't think we got anything else in today. So let's go right into audio production.
Audio production.
We have something from Billabong Bill.
Been a while. Nice.
Yeah, I don't think Billabong Bill has his own jingle yet, but perhaps in due time. Here's a note. It says, "Caw-caw! Baz, Gons, and Canaries. I've been sitting on this jingle for a while and have noticed Gons with a live guitarn, so thought it the time to submit. Hope you like it. Love from Kami, Australia."
Yeah,
Infinite blessings,
okay.
Billabong Bill. Kami, Australia. I like that. Just tag Kami onto anywhere that's turning Kami. So this is Billabong Bill.
Canary Cry News Talk.
Ooh, I like it. It's punchy.
That's fun. Yeah. Punchy.
Short.
Nice. Melodic.
Mm-hmm. Little guitar.
That's real nice.
Distortion guitar there. I like it. Thank you very much, Billabong Bill.
Indeed.
Might be a nice little sting between stories or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to find a place for that sting. That'll be useful.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Billabong Bill. Nicely done.
All right, we're gonna do some art.
One art, please.
And we kick it off with Sir Dove, Knight of Rusbeltia. Where's Sir Dove? Sir Dove, where are you? What are you doing, Sir Dove? Wake up, Sir Dove.
One art piece from Dove.
And he has a note that says, "Peace. For today's artwork, I made an Argentinian sticker design since you guys cover a story on them almost every week." No?
Wrong one.
No?
Yep.
Hold on.
Nope.
All right.
No, it's says peace. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday on Sunday.
On Sunday,
yeah.
Gons.
Yeah, took a screenshot of this YouTube video I watched that made me think of you. Hope you guys like it. Keep doing what you do, and I'll keep praying for you. Did I mess up on grabbing the art? I did. Okay. I'm sorry. I messed up on that. I apologize. Let me get the correct artwork up on screen here. And
this is very fun. He says he caught a screenshot, but what he really did was conjure a screenshot from his own mind and create it on his illustration board here. What we have is a browser window, and the browser window is open to a YouTube tab, and this YouTube tab completes with the whole YouTube website. You got the search bar, you got the logo, you got the up next videos, but importantly, you are on a what is it called? Channel called Cuttin' Things.
Cuttin' Things.
The video is titled Asian Man Slicing Things in Half, 33 views.
All right.
Premiered on January 22, 2022. And there's Gons there in full samurai garb with a katana raised above his head and a baseball, in a bifurcated baseball, as if it had been just sliced in half with a deftly trained katana samurai warrior. The baseball was heading straight for Gons's belly there, but it has been cut in half and is now flying in two different directions. He is standing in the rubble of some sort of post-apocalyptic wasteland, which is exactly where you would want to be able to cut a baseball in half if it was flying at your face. Some details here. They do have the up next list.
Yeah.
And in the up next list, you've got the 2022 NWO FL 40-yard dash from the NWO Fantasy League channel, 6 million views. You've got a mix coming up next, When Animals Attack. And it's a picture of my bunnies living in the foil-covered hidden bunker cabin in the woods. You've got Nephilim at NASCAR, Eyes to the Skies, and these are all the thumbnails are all other previous pieces of work by Dove. You've got Best of Alex in the Morning from Disinfo Wars, 322,000 views. You've got 64 AD Wasn't an Inside Job from Nero News Network, 666,000 views. These are great. And Mark and the Beast from the official Meta channel there. This is very good. This is very, very good.
More
Unfortunately,
details.
Gons, unfortunately, on your video, Asian Man Cutting Things in Half, you've got 33 dislikes.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is before they took
haters
down the dislike button and hid it from the public. So screenshot is a little old there. Also, the URL. Did you look at the URL there?
Yeah, I am looking at it now. Yeah, youtube.com/watchv1877. Don't know what that means, but --74322. Oh, it's the phone number. It's the phone number to sign up for the text message list. That's hilarious. 1-877-740-3226. Sign up for a text message alert system, folks. Get your texts straight from me. I write them. I send them out. All right. Thank you very much, Sir Dove.
Thank you, Sir Dove.
Done.
Yes, well done. Again, appreciate it. This is fantastic. I love it. And by the way,
I'm hoping, but I'm betting that you did not get the art that came into the email.
From Sir Salmon's Night of the Fishes?
Yeah.
I got that, of course.
Good job.
Just so everyone's aware, anytime somebody draws a picture of me in any form, I send it to my wife. And maybe I should just make it a whole segment because there's interesting comments.
Yeah, you got to start recording her responses.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
that's good content.
Yeah, she'll get mad if I. say some things that she said.
Pay her. We'll take up a producership specifically for her.
Yeah. All right. Sir Salmon's Night of the Fishes had a piece here and also a note. Come on. Where's the piece? I'm trying to get the piece up on the screen. And the note says, "Happy birthday, Gons. Thank you. For this piece, I have taken a little scene from The Office and replaced Dwight and Jim with Gons and Basil. If you haven't watched The Office and don't get any of the references, then A, what have you been doing for the last 40 years if you haven't watched The Office? And B, I hope you enjoy it anyway, and happy birthday. Many blessings from the fishes. P.S. There doesn't appear to be a link to the art submission portal on the link tree. Any way to put one in? Really? There's no...
There was.
Uh-oh.
Unless somebody took it down.
Maybe it got replaced by my birthday button.
Sometimes happens when people go clicking around on the back end of the link tree. Sometimes things go missing. Mm-hmm. I will put it back on if it's not there. Thank you for...
don't see it. Yeah, maybe something to do.
Yeah, somebody
but the artwork, yes.
Yes, this is great. So, a famous scene from The Office, Dwight's birthday, I think it was Dwight's birthday. And it's kind of a classic, pitiful office birthday scene. I actually don't remember whose birthday it was, but the classic joke, they've got the printer paper birthday sign, but it just says, "It is your birthday," period. In the background, very funny, very funny. It was Kelly's birthday. I Fight Scene is telling me. Thank you, I Fight Scene in the chat. Kelly's birthday, where, yes, Dwight was in charge of the decorations. I think that's why it ended up this way. It is your birthday, period. And you've got sort of uninflated, deflated, uninflated, halfway inflated balloons.
What are they hanging from? Is that tape?
Streamers. I think they're hanging from streamers,
well,
which just looks really weird.
I thought it was just Scotch tape or something.
It could have been tape. It's been a while since I've seen this scene, but yes, very pitiful birthday decorations. But you've got Gons in Dwight form. He's got Dwight hair, and he's got his Gons glasses, of course, wearing the classic tan Dwight suit with the yellow shirt. Basil over here playing the role of Jim with the virtual headset with the googly eyes, holding the world's best podcast mug. Little mix 'em up there. That's Michael's mug. But down on that chair down below, you can see there's a big book of crosswords. In the crossword, you can see Canary Cry Radio was were some of the answers to the crosswords there. Thank you very much, Sir Salmons. I was just delighted by this piece. I did use it on a tweet today. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Well done.
Yeah, and to be 100% transparent here, I haven't really watched The Office.
Yeah,
I guess I should just.
It was a little bit
Haraki off with myself, apparently, according to Darren, or not Darren, Sir Salmons.
Nobody is saying that. Nobody is saying
he said, "What have you been doing with your life for 40 years if you haven't watched it?"
You're a podcaster, Gons. What have you been doing with your life? This.
Not watching The Office.
That we should be asking ourselves on our 40th birthday. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a while. It was a little after your time. It was like when I was in college.
I know. Yeah, my sister, who's about 6 or 7 years younger than me, just knows everything about The Office. Really into the whole thing. So
yeah, that's the right timing. Yeah, that was really the core.
I'm too old for The Office.
Millennial Office obsession. Thank you very much, Sir Salmons.
Yep, thank you very much. And that leads us to the microfictions.
Microfiction. Microfiction.
The first one is from... We have 3, actually. First one from Rung Smash.
Jade and Vare stuff their cargo in their bags and run through the winding streets of what used to be St. Louis. They round a corner and are confronted by a buzzing amorphous cloud. Dreading what is to come, they wince, but the stings never come. Oh, we missed one more, Guns.
Okay.
We missed one more arts, and I knew there was one you're going to miss, and that's okay because it came in on the thingy.
Okay.
It's from Gasoline Bonds.
Oh.
Yes, it's the last one. Go check the spreadsheet. And this was the big deal. I put it into the email.
Oh, okay. Yes, that makes
it is
more
the
sense.
return. The prodigal daughter has returned. This is Dame Allie is back for a special occasion, creating some art for your birthday, Gons. And I was going to say, this is the one you need to send to your wife, because let me know when you have it up here. We have another masterpiece by Dame Allie of the Skillet Nation coming in with her pencil portraiture. She's been on a vacation recently,
there it is.
She has interrupted her tropical vacation to send in a gift for you. And this is Gons. We've got a full-length portrait here. Gons is wearing his Jinko jeans, which I think is what a modern samurai would wear.
That's true.
He's got his Jenko jeans, a sash with a katana.
Look at those arms. Look at those guns.
Which is lucky because he is looking absolutely shrunk. Which is shrunk, which is a word I just invented to mean absolutely beefy boy, shredded, veiny, and those biceps are dangerous.
A shredded hunk. Shrunk.
It's a shrunk. He's a shredded hunk. Yeah. You're also wearing some boxing gloves there, of course. You're some sort of ultimate. See, this is what MMA should be. Right now, mixed martial arts is, jiu-jitsu and whatever, karate or something. But no, MMA should be boxing gloves with a katana.
Right.
And may the best Ultimate Warrior win.
Yeah. Let me
good here, guys.
Let me properly reintroduce Dame Allie here.
One RC, another one from Allie now. Here it is.
It's been a while since we heard that jingle. It's nice to hear it again.
Been a while. Yeah, we're happy to have you back for this special occasion. I don't know if this means she's coming out of retirement or not, but we appreciate the return of our brave, courageous Dame Allie.
And
the Skillet Nation.
Yeah, this makes more sense now with the accommodating haiku.
Yes.
Gonz's birthday haiku by Dame Ebony Blaze. Jinkos of justice, sheathed katana, boxing gloves, older and wiser.
Oh, it's been a while. I forgot haikus came with the Alley thing. This is wonderful.
Yeah.
Very well done,
Nice.
Ebony Blaze and Dame Allie. There you go. Send that one to your wife. See what she thinks.
I
about
will.
that.
Yeah. Let me do it now, and then
Says it looks just like you.
Yeah. we'll see about that.
See no exaggeration whatsoever.
Yeah. They usually not the response I get. But,
okay. Well,
but it's okay. We'll see what she says.
All right.
Thank you very much, Dame Allie and Dame Ebony Blaze, for the throwback.
Indeed. Now we got microfiction from Stefan.
Stefan S. That's right. And here we go.
On an isolated dogleg on the back nine, the thugs emerge from the woods. Gonzalez calmly selects his 9-iron. Silver flashes, broken teeth, blood splatters, and a hole in one. They should have subscribed to his katana training channel on YouTube.
It's giving me a lot of ideas here.
Very cool. It's like an anime. I'm pretty sure I read a manga that had that exact. I've talked about the golf manga that I got when I went to Japan, right? I'm sure I did.
Maybe. I don't know.
There's manga about everything, folks.
Of course.
If you don't know, manga is Japanese comic books.
Yeah.
But they're not comic books. They're different. They're much higher quality. They're very thick. They're hundreds of pages long. And I just picked it up off the street. It was on the street, laying on the ground. And I picked it up, and it was this manga of golf. It was just looked as just guys in polos and khakis playing golf. And I'm flipping through this manga. I have no idea what it says. I can't read Japanese. And about 10 pages in, one of the golfers like summons a demon to help him golf good.
That's the plot to every anime manga. There's always some third-party principality involved in like summoning and giving you extra powers to shoot baskets or hit the golf ball or kill aliens or whatever it is. Doesn't matter.
You're not good at something, you just need to like pray to your ancestors or whatever, and then summon a demon, and finally you can impress your boss while playing golf. It's hilarious.
Hey, I found an image of a manga where he's literally, the guy is about to hit the ball, and his demon is being summoned. Is this it? Is this the actual?
Oh, that's a good question. I need to get closer in.
Yeah, I'm doing a full screen for you so you can see.
Yeah. It looks familiar. I couldn't say for sure. I'm sure I still have it around somewhere. Yeah, that's looking pretty familiar. Yeah. Okay, good. If that's not the exact one, I'm glad you at least found an example of what I'm talking about is correct. Yeah, you found this manga page, and it's a guy golfing, and this like horrific demon is like blasting out of his body with like explosions and smoke, and he's very, very focused.
So the captioned, how sometimes the same thing that you do in Batman, where it's like thwap and slam and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Is
Zugya.
Zugya.
Oh, that's what it says.
Oh, you know what? There is a very inappropriate aspect to this. I didn't realize there was a inappropriate stuff on there. Apologies to.
Oh, I didn't either.
I didn't check. So.
On your search page?
No. On the actual like manga thing right there. The demon was a inappropriate.
Something inappropriate.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
the people from Davos would relate.
Would be okay with it. Okay. All right. Well, thank you to everybody who came in and created content for the show, and thank Gon's happy birthday. And we're just so grateful to all of our producers, no matter how you help the show out. And if you're a creative person, maybe you want to make a golf manga. I don't know what your art is, but create something for the show. Head on over to canarycry.art. It's a URL. Just type it in. You don't need a button. Just canarycry.art. It's an upload portal where you can upload your show, give us some information, and we will feature it on the show. It's awesome. Go do it. It's a very valuable part of the Canary Cry community.
Yeah.
And other than that, I think it's time we get moving. Close this birthday show out. You got cake to eat, man.
Oh yeah.
So a new discovery. Antarctica.
In the bottom of our planet.
Advanced
Antarctica. Climate crisis.
Penguins.
It's cold, Basil. It's cold. Antarctica, go burn. It's snowstorm. Antarctica.
Ice scientists are penguins.
Antarctica, they're opening the abyss.
Yeah, we got a pair of stories here. This first one, I think you want to take this one, Basil. Let's see. Oh, we lost you. What happened?
Oh, hold on. Sorry, I didn't know you were going to throw to me so fast.
Oh, it's okay. Well, I can start it off. Actually, let me do mine, and then you can do yours. That way, it's yeah. So this is extremetech.com.
Ooh, cool.
Researchers find 17-pound meteorite during Antarctica expedition.
Oh,
all right.
I can't tell if that's heavy or not heavy. Like, very specific to just give the weight.
I mean, what was schwank? What was the word that you?
I don't even remember. Shronked. Is this meteorite shronked?
No. Well, yeah. Anyway, 17 pounds is not that bad. You could do bicep curls with a 17-pound something. A group of meteorite hunters has kicked off the new year with the discovery of a lifetime. A nearly 17-pound space rock around the size of a human head. The team, which consists of geochemists, Maria Schonbachler, Vincian Debail, and Ryoga Maeda, as well as Cosmochemist Maria Valdez.
Cosmochemist. Perfect. Hey. Yeah. By the way, Cosmochemist, not a real job.
Began their Antarctic expedition in December. When they returned in mid-January, it was with 5 meteorites, including one that weighed a whopping 16.7 pounds. It's getting less.
Whopping.
It was 17, but now it's only 16.7. Despite it being summertime in Antarctica, temperatures sat around 14 degrees Fahrenheit throughout the expedition. But for those who are willing to brave such a climate in a remote environment, Antarctica makes for a perfect meteorite hunting site. Low precipitation means space artifacts face less erosion from water. In a sense, they're preserved by the icy desert. Finding the meteorites is easier, too, since their dark surfaces contrast with the bright, snowy ground.
Ooh.
NASA estimates that about 45,000 meteorites have been located in Antarctica over the past 111 years, while up to 300,000 more still wait in the ice. Very few are physically impressive, as this team's discovery, the average stony meteorite, is just 4.5 and 9 ounces.
Okay.
Only about 100 of the meteorites found in Antarctica can compare. So,
yeah,
all right, great.
So,
yeah.
Well, it's just some. First of all, Cosmochemist, another one on the list of jobs that can't get a job anywhere else. If you're going to be a Cosmochemist, literally the only place for you to work. They don't want you to work anywhere, but you spend all that time and money on your degree, so they just send you to Antarctica. Just go away. Just go to the Great White Desert.
Go collect data for the machine.
Go do whatever you do. Nobody knows
what you do. But I don't have
a
title. What do you
Make
like?
one up. I literally don't care.
Chemistry.
I literally could not care less about what you want to call yourself, okay? Make it up. Cosmochemist. Yeah, that sounds cool. Sounds real cool. Well, that actually does kind of match up with the one I brought here. This is IndiaEducationDiary.com. Yes, it's awesome.
Intense.
Purdue University geochemist.
Oh.
We got geochemist, cosmochemist, astrobiologist,
They should just call them alchemists, you know?
I was
really
trying to
what
get
they
there.
are.
Bioalchemist, cosmoalchemist. It's all just nonsense, but okay. Geochemist, sure. Leads all woman team.
That's right. This is a woman's thing. It's
social justice. Yes, we've got the all women all the time, which is, look, you might be wondering why we care about that. Look, I'd love it. Get more women down there. Send them all down there.
Women rule.
Send them all down there.
I didn't mean it in the way that sounds. I didn't mean that.
We're gonna get canceled.
No, I'm just saying
Susan,
we need more of that feminine energy in Antarctica.
All right, yeah, sure.
Okay. Just keep.
What are you trying to say?
We need to. Well,
women are cold. They're cold-blooded, cold-hearted.
We've been tracking this misogyny that is Antarctica because what they weren't taking enough bathroom breaks for the ladies.
Oh yeah, that whole thing. They were choking out the lady people. Yeah.
No, we never brought that story, but that is another weird one.
Yeah, that's right. The
NIH. Sexual harassment suit in Antarctica. Yeah. But no, there's, they were talking about Antarctic scientists being misogynist because they didn't take enough bathroom breaks on big hikes.
Yes,
there was a thing about Antarctica being misogynist because you had to wear too many layers of pants, and for women who needed to use the restroom or use some feminine hygiene products, like there was too many pairs of pants, and that was somehow misogynist to deal with. But so this is good. We need an all-woman team being led onto the ice in Antarctica. It sounds threatening. It sounds strange.
What are they doing there?
It sounds like a trap is what it sounds like. Purdue University geochemist leads all-woman team onto the ice in Antarctica. Just test the ice before you go out there, ladies, to research Earth's ancient history.
Oh, whoa.
All right.
Earth's ancient history, huh?
History. It says Purdue's University geochemist leads all-woman team. The geochemist, I hope, is a woman also, or else he's going to have some HR problems, I think. The standard image of Antarctica is vast, featureless sheets of ice and blowing blizzards, but soaring rocky mountains and deep valleys cut like a knife into the continent of Antarctica, evoking the lavish landscapes of the American Southwest's Monument Valley. Here, ancient rocks reach for the cloud blue sky.
Cold blue sky.
And here is where Marissa Tremblay, assistant professor of Earth, atmospheric and planetary scientists, assistant professor of Earth, atmospheric and planetary sciences at Purdue University's College of Science, led her team of science experts, all of whom happen to be women.
Oh, was it an accident?
This is like a pro-woman trip.
Yeah.
They're specifically bringing women. There's been a movement, a campaign, if you will, to get more women to Antarctica. Fine with me. Send them all. I don't mean it in that way. I'm just saying, get as many women down there as possible. We need more of that sort of matriarchal energy down in Antarctica. You've got all these Russian pirates and Chinese sort of meteor poachers down there. Let's get some more. Let's just change up the vibe a little bit. Their goal in traveling to what is essentially the ends of the earth was to look far into the past of Antarctica's climate history. So climate history.
Ends of the earth, huh?
Ends of the earth, yes. A little nod to the flat earth there. Looking into the past, of course, they're referring to the shimmer, the portal through which, if you look out of the edge of the firmament, you can actually look back in time. Researchers have long examined ice cores to understand the climate history of Antarctica, but that research can only go as far back as the oldest ice they can access. To dig deeper into the past, to learn more about some of Earth's warm periods, when Antarctica lost much of its ice, scientists need to look to the rocks. Now, I thought this was a fun little admission here that Antarctica has had warm periods. It's lost much of its ice. We are calling right now. You'll hear Al Gore, you'll hear CNN talk about Antarctica losing.
We're nuking Antarctica.
Yes, that there's nukes going off.
Million nukes.
Heat waves. There's all these things. When in fact we've actually gained ice. We've gained ice, but apparently in the past we've lost all the ice. Tremblay is a noble gas geochemist.
Ooh,
not
gas
a real job.
A noble gas geochemist too.
Yeah,
what is that?
Lay down some blues riff here, because these Antarctic science women, they deserve as much of the creative talents as we possibly can. Excuse me. Tremblay, noble gas geochemist. Oh yeah, not a real job. Not a real job. Somebody tricked you into getting a degree in a scientific field that you can't get a job, so you make one up and then you go to Antarctica. But that's okay. That's fine. We need more women on the ice. Yeah. Noble gas geochemist who has pioneered a new way of looking at rocks. You hear that? A new way of looking at rocks. Analyzing what temperatures they have experienced.
What are we doing?
Pioneered a new way of looking at rocks and
new way to look at rocks.
You know,
literally
that's why we need
all that tax money.
We need this feminine energy,
ladies,
down in Antarctica, because look, the masculine way of looking at rocks, that old-timey man's way of looking at rocks, is over. It's done. Kaput. It's gone. What we need is a new female-led looking at rocks strategy to analyze what temperatures they have experienced. What temperatures have these rocks experienced using tiny amounts of noble gas inside the rock? She has already used this technique to study climate history in the European Alps and other places. You know, she's already done this, Gons. She's already done it. She's already done it in the European Alps, and you guessed it, other places. And she hopes the Antarctic rocks will tell an even older story, taking a deep dive into ancient history. Oh, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. One of the most exciting things about this trip, this is a quote, one of the most exciting things about this trip, other than the trip itself, of course, girls' trip, is the you know, you get the gals together.
It's so
you
excited.
Go to Ushuaia, Argentina. You spend a night at the Chinese military base. You get to take a boat. There's a buffet on the boat with the gals. And then it's other than that, it's also exciting is the possibility of revealing how warm the Antarctic continent was before our oldest ice records. You know what? I am excited about knowing this. I do want to know how warm Antarctica was in the past. And I think the lizard people do too, because they've been doing the marketing, doing the PR. They've been trying to prepare Antarctica as a utopia that we will all move to. It will save us when Al Gore bombs the Earth with 600,000 nuclear bombs. Antarctica will be a balmy 78 degrees. It'll be wonderful.
That's true. Maybe that's what they're going for. Yeah, they're trying to build it out now. So when they drop the rain bombs
just ahead
and
of the
fire.
game.
Mm-hmm.
This is market research.
Yeah.
Understanding what Antarctica and the Earth looked like in the past can help us peer into and predict potential futures. Booyah. That is exactly what this team is doing. They are getting ready to export specifically, and I've said this before, and I don't think anybody should take offense at this, rich white liberal women specifically. Yeah. Antarctica will be the place for them to be. And they want to peer into the past, see what Antarctica has been, so they can predict potential futures. Antarctica, the most exclusive gated community in human history. It's big and it's dangerous, but once it all warms up and the ice is gone, it'll be really a beautiful place where the remnants, the lasting ones, the white rich liberals can survive the apocalypse.
Yeah, you're going to have a bunch of young white women coming into their womanhood on boats, singing Let It Go as they trek to Antarctica. Let go of the old ways. Let it go.
Gonzo. See, that's going to get us in trouble.
Why is that going to get us? I'm talking about the predictive programming of movies like Frozen and Elsa and the whole character, and having these young girls dream of the ice kingdom and the ice queen and all that stuff, and then they get to live it out.
You're absolutely right. But it's going to be difficult to run a society when your entire society is populated with geochemists and cosmobiologists and all these jobs that don't exist and aren't real, and you got to wear too many pants. And maybe that's the message of the too many pants complaint. There's too many pants in Antarctica.
Pull up your pants and let's get it done. Well, don't be too masculine. There's too many pants.
No. Too many pants. No pants allowed is the future of Antarctica. That's what we found in the geochemist, our grand matriarch geochemist has showed us that Antarctica once was a thriving tropical wetland, and it shall return, and no pants will be allowed. Folks.
I still think the reporting here of the noble gas geochemist pioneering a new way to look at rocks
Yes.
is really the man. I really want to know what that is. Like, what is the new way?
Yes. We need a new way. The old way has not worked. Women are the future. Feminism is the future. Look at rocks like a lady, Gons. Stop looking at rocks like a toxic male chauvinist.
Okay.
And with that, folks, thank you for listening to this episode of Canary Cry News Talk. Thanks to all the producers who make this show happen, our financial producers, our talented producers, but indeed, even those producers working on the back end, doing things that we could never do, Gons. We couldn't do it without them. And so we want to thank them now, starting with our Clippies.
Clippies.
Clipping all those videos. Thanks.
Kira OC, let them wear cardigans. That's a good callback, Kira. Clippies, Emsworth, Faye Liverin, thank you so much. Canary Cry Clips on YouTube and Odyssey. Go subscribe to that channel. It's this show clipped out bit by bit.
Is that
it's
back
an excellent
up yet?
resource. We can't upload yet, but you can still subscribe, and there's a ton of videos on there. There's hundreds of videos on there.
If we had the DailyWire deal, we'd be losing millions right now.
Yes,
because
we
we're
would be
unable
down
to post.
at least $12 million. But even though we are not able to pay Emsworth and Faye Liverin their $12 million, they are still working behind the scenes for us. Thank you, Clippies.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And they their job is made possible by the timestampers.
Timestamp, it's hard work. Timestamp.
Timestampers. We had a couple more people volunteer. Here's the thing, folks. The people who have volunteered have yet to sort of follow through. So if there's anybody out there who wants to follow through, help out the timestampers, it's super helpful. If you already watched the live stream specifically live, it's a really easy job. Easy is not the right word. There's no extra technical training that needs to be done. But if you watch the live show and you pay attention, it gives you something to pay attention to. It's wonderful. But thank you to Jade Bouncerson for doing the timestamps for 5 episode 83. Episode 583. Thank you to Social Media Gap.
The social media consultant.
Thanks so much.
Social media, follow us.
Dame Miss G, the OV, and the Deep Rivers, making sure the art gets up on the social media. Thank you so much for your hard work.
Thank you, Dame Miss G.
Go to canarycrymeetups.com.
Canary Cry Meetup.
Go check it out, Canary Cry Meetups. We have a meetup coming up February 4th in Germany.
Yeah.
Do we have that info up on the website?
No, because we were supposed to forward it to Dove.
Oh, and we didn't do that, did we?
We didn't do it, yeah.
Oh,
we're bad.
We had a crack in the system. Crack in the system. Okay, we will do that. But yes, if you're in Germany, February 4th, there is a meetup, and we will put the details at canarycrymeetups.com. It's time, folks. It's time to start putting on these meetups again. Holidays are over. No excuse. Meeting up with other listeners is a really, really good way to not feel so crazy and feel so alone. Because I guarantee somebody crazier than you is going to be there. But it's going to be fun. It's fun, people. Listening to the same podcast is a good indicator that you're going to get along with somebody. So if you want to put on a meetup, just let us know the time and date, and we will put it on the website for you, canarycrymeetups.com. We'll see you at the meetup.
This is fun!
Yeah, ratings and reviews. They help us out so much. So if you could leave us some, that would be excellent. And we'll even give you a prize. We'll thank you live on the air, kind of like how I am going to thank Timmy Travolta right now. Timmy Travolta from the United States. 5 stars. He says, the best. If you're looking for a podcast with hosts that are not controlled by big money or corporate interests, wow, timely. Then this is the one for you. Sick of the controlled narrative? This podcast is a deep breath of fresh air. Thank you very much, Timmy Travolta.
Is that John Travolta related?
Yes.
Travolta.
This next one comes from Stephan R. David. And comes from America. 5 stars. Dos Bros reading the news. You'll be happy to have these guys 3 times a week, giving you all the news you need to know when it comes to navigating the daily flood of news. Sit back, share some laughs, and enjoy these two. Keep the news both entertained and curated to cover the most relevant topics. Thank you very much, Stephanie.
Thank you.
And I think I read these other ones. I can't remember the last time I read reviews. Do you remember?
It's been a while. I think you did read the one from For the Remnant, though.
Okay, I think I did too. Okay, go leave us a rating and review. Most of you are on Apple Podcasts. Ratings and reviews on Apple Podcasts are incredibly helpful. And you're already listening. Just take 2 seconds. Can you spare 2 seconds? Leave us a rating and review. Not only does it make us happy, but it actually goes to help us. And look, there's lots of ways to help the show, which on one hand means there's lots of ways you could be helping the show. On the other hand, it probably also means there's a lot of ways you're not helping the show. So if you could help the show by leaving a rating and a review, it would mean a lot to us. And that way we don't have to sort of stew in self-pity that nobody is reviewing the show and helping us. Let's see if we have any notable charts real quick. Finland. We're popping off in Finland still. That's nice. Finland. What's up, my friends? Top 100 in Poland. What's up, my Polish brothers and sisters? South Africa, top 100. Thank you very much, South Africa. Let's see here. Costa Rica. What up, Costa Rica? Yeah, okay, we're doing pretty good. Whereas Great Britain, we're not even... What happened in Great Britain? We used to be top 100 in Great Britain, and now we're not even listed. That means we're out. We
mentioned Stanford and Sunak and shut down.
Yeah. Canada, Australia. You guys are slacking a little bit. We're still listed, but let's get up in that top 100. All right. Thanks, everybody. What else? I lost my train of thought and my words of tongue.
Yes, thoughts and
ratings and reviews. Please give. Thank you, Jam, for the links.
Yep.
Thank you, Clank, for the reminders. Clank, please remind us to send that to Dove. And other than that, share the show, folks. Share the show with your friends. Share it with your family. Share it with your dogs and your plants. Share it with the AI. Go to the AI. Just talk about nothing but Canary Cry News Talk. We need to get in. That's the future. See, we have a small window right now, and we have the knowledge that it takes to forever instill Canary Cry News Talk into the AI database. We talk about Canary Cry News Talk enough with the AI now, it will burn the memories of Canary Cry News Talk into the brain of the AI that will soon be putting all of our big tech out of business, will soon be ruling our lives, and really all it takes is just having all of us constantly inputting questions about Canary Cry News Talk into the AI. What are you laughing about?
My wife responded to the text message with
good.
Allie's art.
Oh, what'd she say?
So, she said, "This what happens when people only see your face, crying, laughing emoji."
Oh, burn.
Hey,
wife burn.
You could see my torso. It's not all
wife burn.
Come on, wife.
Now they got to make a filter. I'm sure there's like a Snapchat filter.
Yeah.
That will just overlay your arms with some honkin' chonkers.
This inspires me to start lifting again. I need to lift.
Trust me. It takes more than inspiration, but I think you got it in you.
Yeah.
You got it in you. Anyways, folks, share the show. Share it with your friends and everybody. It's really important. Or just share it on your social media. That helps a lot as well.
Yeah.
And other than that, we like to call it rattling cages. And here's what you do. Listen up. You walk right up to him, you grab him by the cage, and then you shake it.
The end of the world occurred pretty much as we had predicted.
I want to shake things up, stir up some controversy, rattle a few cages. Hey, stop that! You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man, a crusader for the little guy. Leave the bird alone. Never. Rattle a few cages. Rattle a few cages.
The human race will have every opportunity to improve.
And if they don't?
Ask Noah.
Uh-huh. Any last words there, Buff Boy?
Just thank you to all the producers out there, especially coming in for the birthday. Really appreciate it. Thank you for all the love and the support. And hopefully the next time I will be on air, I will be over the hill. How about that?
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
And is it true that Elon Musk just kicked off Bill Gates off Twitter? Or kicked Bill Gates off Twiter?
I don't know.
Chat
where
there.
are
Salta
you
Paul
seeing this?
mentioned it. Maybe he was joking. I can't tell. I'm looking it up right now. See,
Find out.
it is true. Real quick search.
What a
Slow internet.
cliffhanger.
Slow
What
internet.
a cliffhanger that would have been.
I know that's how we come back on Monday.
How we do stretch out that where the music is going to end, but I'm going to.
We got time. I'm looking now. I'm not seeing anything yet.
Yeah, it's okay, folks. Stick around. Don't go anywhere because we got big news, or we are going to debunk some random news that somebody in the chat randomly said for some reason. I'm not seeing anything about this.
I'm not either.
Let's see. Bill Gates told President Trump to not launch a commission supported by Robert Kennedy Jr. into the harmful effects of vaccines. Iron Curtain. Yeah, okay. All right, everybody. I don't know about that. We'll learn about it later. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Canary Cry News Talk. Make sure to tune in next time. But until then, think outside the cage.
Remember, reality is an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Buy gold. Buy!
Wives in the cosmos, children in the space lane.
I'm an adult in a spaceship.
Supersonic space plane screamed to life and the vehicle swooped upward on board. The passengers experienced a 3 G's of force from the burst of extreme acceleration and watched the blue sky fade into space.
In the back have been cleared to unstrap.
Oh, yeah.
In the back have been cleared to unstrap.
Yes. Do it, Richard. Do it, Jeff. Do it for humanity.
To all you kids down there, I was once a child with a dream. Now I'm an adult in a spaceship.
He can accomplish it. You can too. Big windows, cool. Rocket ship, cool. Space plane, cool.
Nukes,
cool.
Blowing stuff up,
cool. Space plane, astronaut, rocket ship.
CBS anchor.
We have Bezos. He's a human. Just look at him. Go to the bathroom in bags. He can go to the bathroom in the cosmos. It changed everything.
We're all gonna die.
Wives in space, children in the cosmos. With your best friend brother. Wives in the cosmos, children in the space plane.
We are headed to space.
When the news of the day gets to feeling like a maze, it's okay, don't be afraid if you don't know what to say. Canary, cry awaits. When your brain's in a haze and a headline days, come on ahead my way, I can help you out the cage. Canary, cry awaits. Canary, cry awaits. Oh, canary. Changing every day, each and every way you turn, there's another thing to learn. Reading in between the lines, thanking Jesus for our lives, and nice to see His glory shining like the sun. Run the race until it's done. Come on, everyone. Canary, cry ways. Oh, canary, cry ways. When your brain's in a haze and the headline days, come on ahead my way, I can help you out the cage. Canary, cry away.
Can I tell you a sort of a twisted pleasure that I have? It's okay. Clearing out that lint trap. Clearing out that lint trap. Clearing out that lint trap. Clearing out that lint. Clearing out that lint trap. Clearing out that lint trap. Clearing out that lint trap.
It takes time. A lint catcher. And you gotta close out. It's like, a lint catcher. It's a great reset. A lint catcher. And you gotta close out. A lint catcher.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
I love peeling off that big old lint trap, rolling it into a ball, peeling off that big old lint trap, just like throwing it in the trash, really. Should I be saving this?
No.
You could knit it into a scarf or something?
No.
Surely. It's very soft.
No.
This would make really good fire starter. You are a weird prepper. Hoarder. Like a weird guy, man. Weird prepper. Not normal, like a weird guy, man. Clearing out that lint trap.
No.
Clearing out that lint trap. Clearing out that lint trap. That lint trap. I know it's gross, folks.
A lint catcher.
Hello, my man.
You gotta close out. It's like, a lint catcher. It's a great reset. A lint catcher.
Hello, my man.
You gotta close out. A lint catcher.
I love that. I am constantly having to remind myself to wear a pink shirt for the show. Constantly having to remind myself, save the dryer lint, use it as fire starter, knit a scarf, save the dryer lint.
Give me a break.
Canary Cry Radio. patreon.com/support.